Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Kind of a weird day. How is it going, everybody? An auspicious start to our stream.
Absolutely.
My name is Greg Schaefer,
I'm Phil Silverman.
and we are bringing you Legacy this Thursday night from MTG Card Market in Chicago.
Woohoo.
Yeah, so we're gonna, I think 4 rounds, right?
Yeah, we have over 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just barely.
I think we have 11 or 12 people tonight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be fun. We already picked one person to be on camera. He's Kyle Houtman of Abzan Aggro fame in Standard.
Definitely
Fame. He lost his winning in
Yes.
at the regional PTQ.
I mean, to be fair, it was a win and in.
Yes.
A win and in for his win and in.
Yeah, because the Illinois regional PTQ was the highest attended that was not like over the cap for top 8. So it was the worst value to attend.
By far. I mean, it was 115, I think, was how many people were there.
So very close to the 128 cutoff, but not there. So only top 4 made it.
A little unfortunate for those playing in that tournament.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people traveled specifically to go to that PTQ and were sorely disappointed to find out.
Should have flown to Utah like Mark Flores.
I guess so, man. It worked out for him.
He went, I think, 4-1 in matches played.
Maybe 5-1.
Maybe 5-1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to the Pro Tour.
Seems great. just got to win like a slightly big, daily event or
F&M.
whatever. Yeah, win an F&M. Yeah, it's a big old F&M.
Yeah.
In any case, we got legacy action for tonight.
So what do you think we're gonna see?
Like
what was last week? I was playing.
What was
and
last
did terribly.
We had a lot of show and tell last week, more than average. We had like 3, I think, Omnitel decks last week.
Probably no actual sneak attack anymore.
No, did not see the card sneak attack.
Everyone has moved on to omniscience variants.
I think it's like this group think that they just don't want to lose to Death and Taxes anymore. Yeah, they're just like, instead of losing to Death and Taxes, I'm gonna savagely stomp Death and Taxes.
I've made a lot of card choices to try to help.
Yeah, I saw it.
For Ethersworn Canonist.
Yeah, Greg was nice enough to loan out his deck tonight, so someone is playing Death and Taxes. It's Ned.
Ned of Bug Delver Origins.
Notoriety.
Yeah.
But yeah, 4 Ethersworn Canonists. That's pretty hateful.
Some people play him in the main now. Not 4, but like a couple.
That's completely reasonable.
I also put 2 Spirit of the Labyrinth, 1 main, 1 board.
That card seems less impressive to me.
It is, but it's a little wider application. And drawing 1 can be pretty great a lot of the time.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, it's a reasonable good value creature. Plus, the surprise value with Vial is good enough.
Yeah, I have.
Playing that on you?
Yeah.
So I don't get your stuff on my stuff?
Yeah, totally. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Thanks again, dude. I appreciate it.
Yeah. This is Ned. Do you want a life pad? Do you want a pen?
Oh, I got those.
All right.
Thanks.
Do you want a cookie or an orange slice? Okay.
Yeah, do you guys have punch and pie?
Yeah, I'll have chocolate
so.
milk for you after round 1.
Thanks.
All right.
All right, it looks like we have a pairings. Who's playing against Kyle? I can't tell.
I can't. I can jump out there and
Sure.
look through the window. It looks like we have some people hanging out in chat.
Yeah. We definitely had. Jason has played Doomsday a bunch. We've had people play Doomsday like in and out. Just because deck's a little bit more fragile than it is in something like Vintage, where you can just always kill your opponent because of Gush. But Doomsday's a sweet deck. I've always enjoyed Doomsday at least a little bit. Gadatiga's, we haven't seen as much Maverick these days. I like Maverick though. Maverick is a better deck than I give it credit for. I think right now it's probably the worst I've seen it, just because of the prevalence of Omnitel, and I can't imagine that matchup's necessarily all that great. But it's a powerful deck. Oh, I believe this is Alex Villano playing Mono Blue Delver. I know that Kyle right now is playing Grixis. Is it Alex Villano?
Yes.
Okay.
2 L's in Villano.
Yeah. All right, we'll hop down to the play area here.
Emperor, the turnout tonight I think is 12 people. I think we had 1 person come in right at the last minute. And yeah, Alex is playing Mono Blue Delver.
His special.
Yep.
The counter spell special, as I like to call it. Mono Blue Delver.
Yeah. So Justifier, we have 4 rounds tonight.
Alrighty. Do we pop out the chat? Is that what just happened?
Yeah, it's over there.
Can we close it and put it back?
I don't know.
Let's try.
To what end?
Hey, we can.
Oh, look at that.
Fantastic.
Just for one less window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we got looks like we started off with the Gitaxian Pro from Kyle, and we're going to see a crack of a fetch land here. I wonder if this is going to signify a Cabal Therapy.
It's possible. Like, snagging a Delver would be nice. Like, the thing about Mono Blue Delver, they don't have a lot of good threats. Like, it's mostly Delver.
Yeah, we'll see if he just wants to take this Brainstorm or maybe Spell Stutter Sprite. Looks like...
Is this getting Force Evolved?
No. That's a Daze in his hand.
Well, he hasn't played a land yet.
Yeah. So I'd imagine maybe the Therapy is getting sniped here, so Kyle... It looks like Kyle does have a Young Pyromancer, so he might want to protect that from counter magic. I see at least a Spell Stutter Sprite and a Brainstorm. Unfortunately, didn't pay attention to Alex's hand when it was on the ground.
Yeah. So I guess Kyle's just deciding what he wants to take.
Yeah. He's going to get Snapcaster Mage.
Seems like a good choice.
Yeah. Alex's deck is sweet because of how many Snapcasters he gets to play.
Yeah.
Like, this is a... You don't really see too many 4 Snapcaster Mage decks in Legacy, which is, as opposed to something like Modern, just because of the speed of the format.
We know it's your favorite card, Phil.
It is. It is definitely my favorite card. But Alex's deck definitely takes advantage of being able to play 4.
Yeah, the only other time you would see so many is like old school Blue-Red Delver when you were trying to like Snapcaster Price of Progress, something like that.
Or even I think when Snapcaster first came out, Esper decks would play, or maybe Blue-White Stoneblade decks would play some large number of Snapcaster Mages just to play them, but people realized that they were a little bit too expensive and a bit of a liability against combo at times.
Gotcha. Argus, what's up in the chat? A lot of our regulars hanging out already.
We got a Thought Scour and a turn for Kyle, targeting himself.
So I think this is the second game that Kyle's played with this deck.
Yes, Kyle has not played many games with this deck. I think he played against you earlier, and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, he almost decked himself. And then lost.
Because of Dak Faden?
Yeah. I managed to maneuver him into the Mangara lock, so he just conceded.
Very skilled.
Yeah, well, I was gonna shut him off red mana. That was the plan.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think Kyle's gonna try and land a Pyromancer this turn. He knows that Alex, I think, only has a Daze's protection unless he's happened to draw a counterspell.
Resident Judge Cook the Fourth already in chat.
Hello, welcome. It looks like Alex's hand is just a couple of Dismembers, Spell Stutter Sprite, Brainstorm, and Daze, as well as another land.
Kyle gonna get some value out of the Pyromancer immediately. Might see Alex go for a Dismember, yep.
Yeah.
Seems like a very worthy target for a Dismember.
Yeah, get that guy out of here.
Yeah.
Pyromancer is a real threat.
Yeah.
You don't want to let that guy stick around, but I think it's very wise of Kyle to just get his value while he can.
Both players inflicting a lot of pain on themselves.
Phyrexian mana, it's a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see that Alex's hand is just only one threat, unfortunately, to go along with that Daze, the second Dismember, and the Brainstorm. No fetch land right now for that Brainstorm, so I'd imagine that he's just going to hold it for the time being.
Right. In a mono blue deck, how many fetches do you think they play?
I mean, you can play as many as you want.
You can.
I think he plays some number of Mutavault in his deck. So I'm not sure even how many lands he's playing total.
Yeah. It's probably like in the 18-ish range.
Yeah, somewhere. I figure the maximum number of lands he's playing is 20.
Right.
So I think given that, if you're playing like 3 to 4 Mutavaults in your deck, I don't think he's playing Wasteland.
Okay.
Because he's like more of a back to basics deck.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that you can play probably just like 8 blue fetch lands or something like that.
Right. An equal number of islands.
Yeah, might as well.
Of these white border islands from a set that I'm not positive what they are.
5th edition.
5th edition.
Definitely 5th edition.
Lovely.
I love them. That's great art right there.
It's hideous.
Oh.
Well, the art's fine. Well, the art's kind of weird, actually, but 5th edition, one of the uglier sets, like just the template.
It's not ideal. Looks like Alex has drawn a counterspell right here. Let's see if Kyle wants to fight. He does have a Force of Will, but I don't necessarily know if you want to get into this battle knowing that Alex has a second Dismember waiting in the wings.
Right. Also sitting on a Daze, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We will see the Force pitching Snapcaster Mage. Kyle really wants to get this Pyromancer in play and force Alex to do something about it.
Yeah. This is the problem with fighting over things like Young Pyromancer or Monastery Mentor when they're in the stack. You'd really like to be fighting when they're in play.
Getting value is ideal, but Kyle's not really in that sort of position. This is also kind of awkward because if Kyle decides to fetch here, Alex can just respond by dismembering. But he is going to get the value immediately just from this Cabal Therapy.
Indeed. So Cabal Therapy going after Alex. It's like a brainstorm in response to hide something.
This is easily my favorite interaction of Young Pyromancer.
It's pretty sweet.
Just getting that value immediately off Flashing Back Therapy, making it free.
What is better, Probe or Therapy?
I think Therapy.
They're both great.
Yeah, they're certainly great in tandem as well.
Yeah.
I know the first time I ever saw this was at the Star City Open that Eric Rowe won up in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
When he was playing Four Color Delver, and he played.
He destroyed that tournament.
He really did. He really. I mean, with a lot of cards that were mine.
Yeah.
Nice. I had to pull a bunch of cards out of my cube for his deck. It was great.
I did not get to play against him.
No.
I think I would have wrecked him.
Possibly, yes. But his deck was just basically a normal Delver deck, functioning pretty close to Rug Delver, like with Stifles and the like. And then sideboard, he just had 4 therapies for combo decks, and they were just devastating all the time. Like he played against several combo decks, I know, on his way to winning the tournament.
Young Pyromancer plus discard is a very, very potent way to beat combo.
Just Young Pyromancer plus cheap spells, really.
Like black versions of Delver decks.
Yeah.
Like, they can beat just counter spells,
Yeah, absolutely. You just get to fight through a lot of things.
Right. Just fighting on too many axes. So it looks like Therapy is going to take a look at Click, a Scalding Tarn, and a Ninja of the Deep Hours.
Oh, Ninja.
Former draft... I don't even want to say all-star. I want to say, 4th pick.
I mean,
maybe 3rd. I mean, it was good. It was good.
Can't say I had a lot of experience in that format. Most of my experience with Ninja of the Deep Hours is in cube drafts.
Sure.
If anything.
Seems like an underpowered cube.
Oh, that card's. Are you kidding me? It's great. It's like a thieving magpie, basically.
Right. Shadow Mage Infiltrator. Slacker 2012. Thank you for the follow.
We see that the card that Alex hit on top of his deck was that Dismember, and he immediately uses it to get rid of the second Pyromancer, leaving him with just the Click and the Ninja in his hand, versus Kyle's, I think, 2 cards. One of them is a Tassiger.
Yep.
I think it's Tassiger Lightning Bolt.
Seems like a good time for either of those cards.
Yes, Lightning Bolt especially is we know is gonna be great against anything Alex has.
Yeah. So we might be looking at a draw step and doing Click here.
I believe so.
Probably with the trigger on the... I don't know if you even do the trigger on the stack for the Lightning Bolt.
You probably don't, given that Kyle has 2 bolts.
Okay. Why not?
I think he is going to kill it.
Firing it off.
I think it doesn't make too much of a difference either way. I think you're certain Alex is going to target you, because you'd imagine he wants the Ninja.
You're also probably pretty certain he's going to take Tassiger.
Yeah. But this is great for you either way. I mean, you get to keep your bolt, which will answer the Ninja in his hand. You just have to hope you draw some other gas spell.
Right. Like Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time is the perfect card.
I think there were 3 or 4 in the deck.
Oh, I would not be surprised. The presence of Thought Scour is enough to make me think you'd want at least 2 or 3 of that card.
Right.
I love Dig Through Time.
I don't actually know if it's 4, but I beat 3 earlier.
That's very impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. I think we may or may not see a hard cast Ninja here. Alex did shuffle his deck, so one of the cards he placed back from Brainstorm is definitely going to be gone. Mm-hmm. Yep. 4 mana 2/2.
Yep.
This is just worse than Stripe Bears right now.
It blocks down the 1/1 unless there's a combat trick in Kyle's hand or Lightning Bolt, whatever.
Yeah, I don't think this Ninja's sticking around. And
apparently,
Kyle
Lightning
obliges.
Bolt's an uncommon in Modern Masters too.
Good. I don't know if you ever drafted formats where Lightning Bolt was a common, but it's
Kind of stupid.
Yeah, it's just different. Like, they talked about this on Limited Resources, actually, today. I happened to listen to it, where, you don't really pick commons over rares all that often anymore because they don't make cards like Doomblade and Lightning Bolt common anymore.
Path to Exile.
That was an uncommon.
Right. And it's probably still an uncommon.
Yeah, if it's going to be in Modern Masters.
Yeah.
So Kyle has drawn Brainstorm. He has 1 card in his hand, which we know is Island. And he's drawn a bunch of garbage, basically.
Force of Will, Thought Scour, lands?
And Scalding Tarn. So, I mean, this is fine.
He can Thought Scour away the lands.
Well, you can just shuffle them away.
Or that.
Yeah. I'd imagine you...
I don't even know if you need to. I guess he wants to keep Force Blue card.
Yeah. Plus, he has value to get if he Thought Scours like actual spells.
Right.
Anything beyond, between the therapies and the like. Mostly just therapy.
He just wants to draw Dig Through Time here.
Yeah. It is kind of tempting, though, to specifically to scour first and then fetch. like or maybe just not fetch at all.
Right, exactly. He didn't have to fetch there.
Yeah, I actually think I would have fetched almost immediately after the Vendilion click just to get the Tasker off the bottom of my deck.
Sure.
It's certainly, at least it's a tempting play.
Yeah.
Ooh, Alex draws his own Brainstorm though, and this is going to resolve as well.
Can't force a will this.
Pretty aggressive, I think, to
Yeah.
go for something like that. You don't want Alex to be able to just like resolve some relevant threat.
True Name Nemesis.
Oh yeah, that would be an absolute beating.
Yeah, well, it's good. I mean, Kyle's saved his Force of Will plus blue card combo.
Yes.
Maybe largely for exactly that card.
I wonder if Kyle is actually going to decide to cast this Thought Scour or just hold it as a blue card.
I think I would hold it having fetched already, so he
Yeah.
cleared the lands. Obviously, if he was deciding... see a Vapor Snag on an Elemental token. If he had decided to not crack the fetch, and then he kind of has to Thought Scour to
Yeah.
just not draw the lands.
Yeah.
Looks like he is, in fact, Thought Scouring here.
Yeah, the only thing that's really he gets really got by is something like a Spell Stutter Sprite here.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just hoping to draw some relevant thread here,
Well,
get more information to decide.
He drew Brainstorm, which is one of the best cards.
I actually think he drew Counterspell.
Did he?
Um,
I must be confusing the arts. So he drew another Force of Will there.
He has Force of Will, Counterspell.
Well, that's 2 counter spells.
Alex drawing an excellent card here, Mutavault.
Yeah,
That thing's going to start rumbling.
absolutely.
Oh, Mutavault.
You can't counter that.
Nope. That's why the card's great. Someone asked me, they were building Modern Merfolk, and they asked me if they should if
Great
four,
deck.
if 4 Mutavaults was too many,
It is not.
and I was like, no, I think it's too few. I
Uh,
would play 8.
I don't think I'd play 8. I maybe would play 6.
Yeah.
I would just play like more lands just to play more Mutavaults.
Well, there you go. Mutavault is a goblin.
You can't cut the blue sources. It's also a dragon.
Yeah. Silumgar Scorn
Yeah.
coming in.
I saw the attempts at making Silumgar Scorn okay.
I feel like I'm still seeing it.
There are. I mean, it
Ojita
hasn't.
has a playable card in Modern.
I don't know about that.
I think it's certainly reasonable.
For 5 mana, what else can you be doing? Pretty broken shit. You could be playing Ad Nauseam.
Or Batterskull.
Yeah.
Batterskull's not great right now.
Ooh.
All right. So Kyle has just drawn another copy of Force of Will, so he has 3 copies of Force of Will on a counterspell. So
Killing it.
I got a pretty underwhelming hand against the beatdowns of this Mutavault.
Nice.
He's got to draw a creature real soon to do something.
Turn 1 Lackey in the chat has volunteered to keep track of our dragon count, and it's at 1 currently.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
We've got 1 dragon.
If it gets miscounted, we know who to blame.
For sure. All right, so Kyle's going to fetch here. This is certainly indicating a hard cast Force of Will to me.
Yep. Why not? He's at 5. Like, he's staring down lethal.
I mean, they're not getting better.
He really needs to find... God, I don't even... Well, just Tassiger at this point would be great.
Tasker would be great. I mean, Snapcaster Mage is perfect.
Young Pyromancer.
Yep.
Any creature.
Ooh.
That was Dak Faden.
And that's not a bad draw either.
I mean, he has to just Phasal Suiting with it, right?
I think that's fine. I mean, these counterspells are not great.
Yeah.
We'll see if Alex has an answer, though. If Alex has something like a Snapcaster, well, he's got counterspell.
You gotta fight back.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's going to choose to Force. Interesting that Kyle chose to Force because this is cutting a turn off of his clock.
It is.
He's
counting on the Dak doing work, though.
Yeah, I think he also just values the counterspell a little bit more.
Yeah. Because he can actually cast it by itself.
Yeah. But yeah, he is going to have to loot and try and find something. The downside here is, of course, that he has only 1 card in his hand.
Yeah.
This is why maybe I was a little bit more tempted to cast Counterspell here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if he elects to Counterspell, that makes it pretty unlikely that he's able to cast a creature this turn as
Right.
well, unless it's exactly Tassiger.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so we see a loot.
Ooh, those are 2 good ones.
Oh boy.
That was Jace and Baleful Strix. I think you have to keep Strix.
Yeah, Jace is not good against his Mutavault, and he can't even cast that. And like he can at least cast the Strix.
That's what he's doing. Is it the last card of Counterspell? Nope.
Ooh. If Alex had a Spell Snare there or something,
Yeah,
that'd be
that
pretty
would
brutal.
be disgusting.
But this is a stabilizing position for Kyle. Alex can't really attack unless he wants to throw away this Mutavault.
Ooh, Snap Dismember? Oh,
Snap
Vapor
Snag.
This doesn't kill him, but...
Ooh.
Oh, we must have been off
By 1 point.
By a point. Okay.
Well, there you go.
Sorry for that, everyone. Our apologies.
Yeah, we're stupid. thought I had it all. Anyways.
They probably miscounted.
Yeah, it must have been them.
Yeah.
That's sweet, though. Alex's deck, as we said, the power of Snapcaster Mage. Your top decks are just so good.
Yeah, they get better.
That's one way to put it.
I mean, he could have drawn days.
That's very true.
Big Beast, thank you for the follow.
Appreciate it, as always.
Always.
All right, so we'll see what kind of sideboard cards are going to be in there. I'd imagine that Kyle's going to try and trim down some of his Force of Wills and the like. Try and be more of just a stricter control deck.
He thumbed over Is It Staticaster?
Ooh.
What do you think of that?
I like it. I think it's not super powerful.
No.
But it blocks all the ground guys and it
Yeah.
kills the flyers for the most part.
Kills Snapcaster, kills Unflip Delver.
Yeah, kills Vendilion Click, kills Spell Stutter Sprite.
Yeah. Just not, it doesn't kill, obviously, True Name,
Flip Delver.
Flip Delver, and it doesn't kill Ninja.
Yeah, it doesn't kill Ninja, but it blocks Ninja.
It does.
Which I think is a good enough salve.
Yeah.
You just want to buy yourself some time.
Yeah.
Tassinger not great against the Vapor Snag deck.
No. Seems like the counter spells are probably pretty bad.
I don't particularly like Force of Will. I think you don't want to be 2-for-1ing yourself.
Right.
I think you want to be like gaining a lot of value off your dig through time, and you just want to be focusing on cheap interactive spells. Like stuff like Pyroblast is ideal.
Yeah. I don't know if he needs all the probes either.
Probe, I think people shave Probe a lot in this kind of deck, but
Yeah.
I think it's just so good.
Sure.
Like it's not insane. It's it's
Right.
not the most powerful card when you're playing against not really a combo deck.
Yeah.
But Alex's Delver deck, like, it tends to play. It has a variety of counter spells. Like he has like stuff like Spell Snare and Pierce and maybe Flusterstorm.
Yeah. I guess that
So-
there's a good amount of value of knowing what to play around.
I think so. This is where the way Alex has sort of built his deck, as we know, whether or not it's budgetary concerns, sort of helps him. Like, since he doesn't have Force of Will, he's pretty much never 2-for-1ing himself.
Right.
Almost everything in the deck, besides Delver, gains value. And if it's not getting value, it's just killing you. But we'll see how this goes for Kyle on the play. I think the therapies are actually going to be pretty important to limiting the value that Alex gets.
Makes sense.
And we saw therapy was very strong in that first game. Alex's brainstorm was just really important.
That Vendilion
Stop
Click.
it. Yeah, the Vendilion Click was excellent.
Well, you have Tassiger Resolves. I mean,
It's a completely different game.
Yeah.
Kyle has a resilient threat that deals with that Mutavault, and he takes 10 less damage,
right.
something like that. It did 10 damage. That
Yeah,
Mutavault.
it holds the ground until that Dismember shows up, which
Basically.
it took a long time.
Or the Snag.
Right.
Yeah.
And even that, I mean, he just replays, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Alex had already used 2 Dismembers, and he had to top deck the Snapcaster Mage to flashback the Snag for the lethal. So the race would have been completely different. I mean, Alex also won that game at 6 life.
Right.
He was very close to dying himself. I mean, he took 8 damage. I think he dealt 10 to himself that game, which is just that's a delight.
Yeah. I mean, if you're never getting attacked, who cares?
That's how you know things are going well, when you're doing all that damage to yourself and you're still not dead.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, those are good things. I mean, I've heard stories of people back when Blue White Delver in Standard.
Yeah.
People just doing
16 damage to yourself.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
You won that game,
Yeah, I mean, they didn't get to do anything.
and you cast all your spells.
Yeah, you probably played 3 probes, like cast 2, snap back to 1.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you disremembered something. You probably
Yeah,
gut shot
you definitely
like 4
gut shot, yeah.
things.
Oh, gut shot.
Then you hit them like a couple times with a Geist Saint Trapped, and they were just dead.
Gut shot had its day in the sun, man.
It was very, very important in that format.
Yes, it was.
Not just for the mirror, also against Infect.
And anything that had
Birds of Paradise,
or
yeah.
Avacyn's Pilgrim or whatever.
Yep.
All sorts of stuff just dying. One toughness.
A lot of stuff dying.
I remember it came back for a time when Blue Red Delver with Cruz was big.
Yep.
I was not a fan.
I was playing it in the sideboard of Death and Taxes.
Sure, there you go.
Legacy staple gut shot
Goodness.
in the Thalia deck.
In my mono white Thalia deck.
You gotta kill the Delvers.
Yeah, you gotta kill Delver. I always
And the
hated
Pyromancer.
Yeah, I always hated seeing that card. People would draw it, and then your opponent would just play a Swift Spear,
Yeah.
and you just look like a doofus.
That's not the best.
No, it
It's
is not.
Not the best.
So it looks like Alex taking a mulligan here. Kyle's hand had a lot of young Pyromancers in it.
That's not bad.
No, not at all.
Card's really good.
especially when your opponent's mulliganing. Ooh.
David Byer commenting on the sweet MTG Card Market playmats.
Oh, they're awesome.
These were drawn by Jameson.
Yeah.
Store owner Jameson Reeves.
Purveyor.
Yeah, he told me he just drew it and imported it and made it himself. He just sent it off to the printer. That was it.
All right, so it looks like we're going to see a jammed Young Pyromancer on turn 2 here. I don't believe Kyle has any free spell, any probe or anything like that. I think he's just daring Alex to have some interactive spell.
Cook the Fourth asks what we think of the Force of Will playmats. Do you know what she's referring to?
Nope. I do not know.
I don't know either.
Is it
for a GP or something? I don't actually know.
Curious to know what Force of Will art is on it.
Yeah, that's a good question. Commodore, I don't think we have any stasis today.
I think I could say pretty comfortably that we do not. All right. Ooh, Alex does have the days, though. He's going to float a blue.
Yep. To play around days himself, even if it isn't in Kyle's deck. Might as well do it.
If you're going to play around it, you might as well.
Yeah.
Plus, if he wants to brainstorm, he can.
Right.
Interesting.
Ooh. Surgical Extraction going after Young Pyromancer?
And hitting.
And Kyle chooses not to force. Interesting.
I mean, would you really want to discard 2 cards to protect 1?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think it's pretty close. Not a huge fan, though, of Alex bringing it in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, that was the best possible thing that could happen.
Yeah, certainly. being actually hitting one in the hand is pretty great, but
yeah.
I mean, I think it's pretty disastrous if he misses. I think Alex is counting basically on Kyle's deck just being threat light. But I'm just not sure if that's going to be the case Kyle has many different ways of attacking. Specifically having the planeswalkers and the creatures.
Ooh. Apparently it is
we'll
the
see.
Therese Nielsen art.
Ooh. I'll take a look in a second.
Yeah. Cook, we'll take a look at the link after this match.
Ooh, so we see a main phase brainstorm from Alex here. He's going to replay that land. He is going to be significantly behind on land drops this game, and it looks like I don't believe he's hit a second land here. There is a Delver in his hand, but he's not going to be able to play that until next turn at the earliest.
Sure.
Kyle doesn't have his third land, though. It's just going to pass.
He has Counterspell up, though, which helps.
I'd imagine you want to counterspell this Delver.
Yep.
And he agrees. Might as well save the Bolt for something relevant. Save it for a rainy day.
Yeah, totally.
Ooh, Cabal Therapy is a nice one. Not as good when you're going in blind, but I think you just want cards in your graveyard at this
It's also
point.
not as good now that all the Young Pyromancers are gone.
Very true, yeah. I mean, that means you're much less likely to flash it back, which means it's just fodder for dig through time, which is, I think, fine.
What do you think he's going to name here in the dark?
No clue. Maybe Counterspell?
Doesn't look like he hit.
Yeah, so he didn't name any of those cards.
Yeah. He might name Brainstorm.
Or Snapcaster Mage.
Okay. Snap would be a great choice.
Yeah. Alex's hand's okay. His hand's great if he draws another land, but we're sure that his top card is not a land right now.
Yeah.
Because he brainstormed back, I believe, a spell in order to flip his Delver.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex is probably going to have just a land and a pass, or a draw card and pass, and he does. Kyle drawing his third land, which is pretty great.
Yeah.
He just wants to get this Jason play.
Absolutely. Jace on the stable board.
Oh, it's the best. If Alex breaks on land here and Kyle hits his fourth, that's really good news for Kyle.
Oop, there it is. And now he has Counterspell up.
Kyle does have Force of Will.
It's pretty risky jamming Jason to 2 open mana there, but
I mean,
looks like he just drew a Lightning Bolt anyway.
it's only one unknown card, though. Like,
Okay.
the one unknown card has to be Daze in order for it to be, really bad.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, Alex drawing another land. This is pretty great for him now. He can just deploy this Vendilion Click. That's probably the card he's going to get out there soon just to get some pressure going.
Probably draw a step, take the Jace.
Yeah. He knows that Kyle has a Bolt.
I guess the problem with playing the click here is Kyle can force that. Then if he untaps and draws a land, he just slams Jace into 3 tapped lands.
True. The downside, of course, that he has is that he has to pitch one of his best cards and dig through time.
That's fair.
I don't know how equipped Alex is going to be to fighting a Jace once it's in play, especially when he doesn't have Mutavault
Yeah.
yet. Click's one of his best ways of fighting Jace, so losing that will certainly be a problem.
Right.
Let me see a fetch from Kyle.
Wonder why he's fetching end of turn here.
Yeah, because he's not quite at dig through time level.
Yeah, he needed one more card.
I'd be very surprised if he was just going to bolt Alex.
Looks like that's what he's doing.
All right.
Oh, he wants to ramp up his dig.
Yeah, looks like I think he just wants to resolve this dig as fast as possible. I think this is maybe a little bit greedy.
Yeah, he's kind of getting... So he drew the land. I think he wants to force then.
Just to get this Jason play.
Yeah, I mean, make him have the days, I think.
I think that might just be his best way to win this game.
Yeah, it's risky, but...
Yeah, and Kyle is going to force and pitch dig through time. Yeah, I think this is the play you have to make.
Yeah, make him have
This
it.
makes the bolt play look kind of loose, unfortunately.
Yeah, because he doesn't even have to dig now.
Exactly, but landing Jace onto an open board is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
So here's land number 4. Let's see. I don't believe Alex has the days.
And he'll probably just brainstorm here. No need to tick up yet.
I mean, you know 3 of the 4 cards in Alex's hand.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4 of the 5. I think it's better to just get some value back in the game, especially because you've 2-for-1 yourself at least like once.
Yeah.
You've gotten 2-for-1 actually. No, only once because the surgical was a 1-for-1.
Sure.
All right, we'll see a brainstorm. We see another dig and another bolt.
Well, that's pretty great.
Stellar, I would say.
Yeah.
We see his hand is just 2 bolts and a dig.
I have never played a Jace the Mind Sculptor in my life.
In your life, never, not even a casual game.
Nope.
Wow,
Yeah.
it's good.
kind of makes me want to play Miracles.
Yeah, the deck is very strong, and very good. There's just the best Jace deck, really.
Yeah.
It's the best at playing a Jace on a stable board, that's for sure.
And you can play Monastery Mentor.
Oh yeah, go real deep.
Yeah.
We'll see what Kyle decides to do here. He doesn't have a fetch land, and he knows the top card of his deck. Oh, never mind. He just has 2 bolts and a dig, and he's just gonna brainstorm.
Why not?
I believe his top card is So 3 bolts, 2 fetch lands. Let's see if he decides to keep. Yeah, he's gonna put one of the bolts back, and then play Polluted Delta. I think he's gonna try and sneak in a dig through time.
Why not?
Oh yeah. So we see a Snapcaster Mage targeting Brainstorm.
Well, it still has to pay.
Kyle has to think if he wants to let it resolve.
Yeah.
If he wants to respond to it. I think he might dig in response here.
Seems okay. I
mean,
if he finds a counterspell, it's a pretty juicy target.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's letting it resolve. So the Brainstorm should be exiled.
Yes. Gotta wait for him to resolve that Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Or maybe he bolted in response, but
Maybe.
little loose sequencing going on here.
Yeah. Also, if they forget to exile the Brainstorm, I'll pop out in a moment. Looks like Kyle is fetching a lot of shortcutting going on at the moment, it seems like, because Alex is still mid-Brainstorm.
Yes, a lot of shortcutting indeed. I'd imagine that Kyle is going to dig still on the end step.
LA Kings 2012, thank you for the follow.
Yeah, Kyle is digging. I think you gotta let.
I don't even know.
I don't think Kyle realized that he was
I
still
don't know, man.
mid-brainstorm.
Yeah.
No, that's definitely what happened. Kyle just forgot. Yeah.
All right, and Brainstorm is on the stack.
Yeah, there
not
we
in
go.
the graveyard. It's definitely not in the graveyard, if anywhere.
Yeah, Kyle was just going about his business as if it was already done, but it was
Yeah.
definitely still on the stack.
It's definitely relevant to make sure that we get the Brainstorm in the right place, because he is a dig through time deck.
Correct.
Exile. Yep,
There we
you
go.
got it.
And Kyle gonna go for a dig through time of his own.
All right. The stack currently only has the 1 spell on it,
And let's see what Kyle decides. To
leaving himself with Brainstorm Therapy Bolt as.
Just maximizing his counterspell, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Counterspell Bolt Therapy.
Maximizing Tasigur.
Snapcaster
potential.
Mage, I think.
Oh, sure.
We'll see what Kyle hits off this. He did shuffle. He knew that his top card was Bolt Tarn.
Yeah.
And he decided to get 2 fresh looks off the top. I see at least a Baleful. I see Baleful Strix and Deck Faded being thumbed to the front. There's another Lightning Bolt there. I don't know if he really wants Bolt in this scenario. He's already got one, which is going to protect his Jace for the time being.
Right. David Byer asks how much near mint Tundras are these days. I think they're like 200 most stores.
Maybe. I don't know.
You can get beat up ones for like 160. It's like the second cheapest Blue Duel for some reason. Actually, no, that makes sense. Second cheapest. Because
Cheapest?
Underground Sea and Volcanic are more expensive Trop is less.
Trop is the cheapest blue one?
Yeah.
All right, so Alex is going to ponder here and a quick shuffle. Ooh, I do see that Back to Basics is in his deck.
Horizon, our tournaments here are $10 entry, and I think it's basically the full entry goes into store credit prize support.
Yes, I believe so. I think everything.
Yeah.
Which is pretty great. Alex drawing Delver off there. Delver's an excellent draw here, especially because he can play it with Sprite up.
Yep.
So if Kyle goes for a Bolt here, Alex gets to counter it for value.
Absolutely. The Dan has some questions for the new overlay. We're still figuring out the kinks,
Yeah.
I think, is the takeaway of the overlay.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah,
The infect placing is a little vague.
I'd agree.
Just a random slash and a 0 just hanging out.
Look, the graphics aren't optimal, all right?
Yeah.
All right, so we see Alex is going to counterspell the Strix. Kyle's just going to let this happen. He does have access to Pyroblast, but it seems like he doesn't really care about it. I think this is where I would bolt down the Delver.
Yep. Seems like a good time.
He is going to plus...
You are going to want to bottom that.
Kyle is seeing Back to Basics and immediately shipping it to the bottom.
A wise decision.
Yeah, Back to Basics would be an absolute beating here. He has 5 dual lands in play.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Looks like that's valuable information if we get a game 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to know to try to aggressively fetch his basics, of which I think he probably has like 4.
Yeah, maybe 4. I know he has at least a basic swamp and I think at least 2 basic islands. I would be surprised if there was a basic mountain.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. It's probably 3.
It's a pretty interesting situation for Kyle. Like, he has a Jace. Like, Jace is sort of acting as a swing condition right now, but I'm not necessarily convinced he's advantaged.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this deck Phaeton is, like, not super powerful here. Alex has a ton of flash creatures in his deck that can start pressuring this Jace.
Yep.
And if he starts hitting he doesn't really hit his land drop, so we know he's on all gas.
Right.
Yeah, I think Kyle is recognizing that it's going to be hard to win off his creatures with no Pyromancer in his deck, so he just wants to win off Jace Ultimate.
Seems like a reasonable thing to do. Looks like
what-
this is dig through time. This
And-
would be a good thing to fight over if he has Pyroblast.
But we know if he goes for that, Alex will be able to sprite it.
That's unfortunate.
Pretty good value for the old spell stutter sprite. See if Kyle decides to try and fight here.
Horizon asked for old school tournaments.
Oh, man.
Well, there's currently probably 6 or 8 people out there already playing that format.
Yeah, that's true.
In addition to this Legacy tournament.
So we see a sprite. So Kyle leading with Brainstorm actually works out pretty well for him because he's going to be able to protect his Pyro. He's going to be able to Pyroblast without fear when
Yeah.
Alex tapped out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's tempting. I think Kyle's a little tempted to Pyroblast the sprite here.
He's doing it.
Yeah.
It's pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I mean this puts him into needing to draw into another counterspell to stop dig through time.
Looks like he hit Snapcaster and he can snap the Pyroblast.
Pretty perfect right there.
Yeah.
Look at Snapcaster Mage. Doing work.
It's pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh yeah. A little unfortunate he doesn't get to snap back and dig through time.
Oh, whatever.
Hard life, right?
Yeah.
How do
He
you
only
win?
has Jason play on 7 loyalty.
And he's gonna counter this dig through time.
And he's going to have the creature in play.
And now
Alex-
we're at the point where he's running Alex out of resources. We know Alex is drawing Scalding Tarn this turn. He's got Brainstorm, Counterspell, and Dismember, so he really needs to find a threat.
that was a huge hit on Brainstorm.
Yeah.
I guess there were a lot of hits to be found, but still,
Yeah, I don't know if there were a ton. I mean, he's used a Counterspell. He's used that Pyroblast.
he boarded out some forces.
I think so. Yeah, we saw that he certainly kept it in some number.
Yeah, I think he might have boarded out 2 or 3.
Yeah. And drawing Force of Will there, it's certainly reasonable it wouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
He didn't have another blue card.
I guess he could have found another Pyroblast, too.
Yeah. I think his hits were like another Pyroblast and maybe another Counterspell.
Snap, yeah.
This also does work. I mean, this does work to pressure Alex's life total a little bit, but I'm pretty sure the Snapcaster is just going to eat a Dismember pretty quickly.
Any Tezzeret or Stompy decks? Horizon asks in the chat. Occasionally we get Tezzerator. Stompy, are you referring to Blue Red Delver? Because we get that sometimes.
What about like Sea Stompy? Old school Sea Drake.
I don't know if I can recommend that. That is Gut Shot that Kyle just took a look at on top of Alex's deck.
That's going to stay there.
That's going to stay there now that there are no Pyromancers in the deck.
Yeah. And Alex is just going to counterspell that deck Phaeton, which seems like you're already being pressured from this Jace. Those counterspells aren't really getting much better, especially now that Kyle's out of Pyromancers.
Dak is not gonna. It wouldn't actually do much. It would just be a looter, which I guess isn't the worst. But Mutavault being in play now, Kyle's more incentivized to use Jace to just draw cards.
Yeah, I think so. Plussing Jace is basically fogging the Mutavault every turn. I think you just want to find maybe another Bolt, another Snapcaster, just something to deal with the Mutavault.
Tasigur, Baleful Strix.
Yeah, he has a ton of hits. All right, so Kyle fetching with his Polluted Delta. Right now he's deciding what basic he wants to get. There's one Swamp I don't think is going to be good enough to beat a Resolve back to basics.
Probably not. Do you know what Nathan's playing today?
No.
Okay. Kevin asks in the chat if there's any Painter. I know Nathan's been playing Painter. Not completely certain if he's playing it today, though.
So we see a Brainstorm being hit. So this is the second Brainstorm for the turn for Kyle.
Of note, these players are also at under 15 minutes left in the round, and this is only game 2.
Oh my goodness! Look at Kyle going off in the most anemic way possible right now.
Yep.
He brainstormed back 2 probes and then scoured them away, and then the third brainstorm of the turn.
Oh my god!
He just wants a Bolt. Where's the Bolt? Innocent Blood doesn't do it. Oh no, it's Cabal Therapy. also does not do it.
He's looking at
He's seen in a ridiculous number of cards this turn.
Yeah, he's leaving himself with Cabal Therapy and Forcible in hand.
He's just gonna Therapy Alex.
Don't even know what he would name here.
Well, he knows
he has
card.
Gut Shot, right?
Yeah. Let's see if Alex even. He missed.
So he forgot.
Yeah, he definitely forgot. I mean, to be fair, I don't think it really matters. That Gut Shot is not really going to be relevant.
It's going to come back to bite him if he draws Baleful Strix.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, it absolutely will. Alex Strong Ponder. Ponder pretty good here, but unfortunately it's just going to be a shuffle.
Who are you attacking with the Mutavault?
I think you have to attack Jace. Oh my god,
I don't know.
It's a losing battle both ways.
Yeah.
Jace on 9 counters.
Yeah, you're never killing it. I kind of want to just give up on it.
Let's see. Yeah, Alex is deciding right now.
Oh,
He's going to go
attacking
after Jace.
Jace. All right. I guess you kind of. I don't even know if you're really pressuring.
Brainstorm. There's a Bolt.
There's a Bolt. He has a fetch too.
This is pretty important for Kyle.
I think he put 2 lands back.
Yeah. And he's probably going to fetch a basic island off this.
Makes sense. Doesn't want to get stifled or anything. Oh,
Yeah,
no basic island.
I mean, at this point, are you really beating a back to basics anyways?
I think you could if you get basics.
No fear. I respect
I think
it.
you just forgot.
You could have. If Alex draws something like Spellstutter Sprite here, he's in business.
DNT with GNT, thank you for following.
And down goes Mutavault.
Yep.
I think now we're in the mode where one player needs to draw Dig Through Time, and it's going to be really hard to do it through a Jace.
Jace going up, leaving a fetch land on top for Alex.
Here's a probe. Paying 2 life, it looks like?
Why? He has infinite mana. I guess this is his way of playing around back to basics, is you just don't tap your lands ever.
Tasigur coming in there. This is gonna this should
mop it up, yeah. Getting rid of all the Drek now. Might see if Kyle has a counterspell left. This is definitely a juicy target.
I believe Kyle has if Alex does.
Or Alex, sorry.
Alex does not. He has Misty Rainforest Gut Shot in his hand.
All right.
And he is, I think his only answer. I mean, he has to draw like a Dismember or a Snapcaster Mage here, but I believe Kyle has Force of Will.
Yeah.
I think it's Snapcaster. Yep, it is.
In response, we might see an activation of Tasigur, perhaps.
I'd imagine you just I think you just Hardcast
okay.
Force.
Sorry, missed that one.
As I said. Yeah. So now we're gonna see the tandem, the Tasigur Jace tandem.
Is it a tandem?
It is right now.
Oh, right. You brainstorm and then you mill the 2 you don't want.
Adorable.
That is adorable.
Well, I think it's more just I attack you and make sure you have a dead card.
Oh, whatever.
So we see an attack for 4 as well as a fetch. So down to 2. Alex is Alex, I think he just needs exactly. I think he needs running vapor snags to not die.
Sure.
Just to damage.
Yeah, he can't dismember now because he's too low on life.
He's
and
not.
These players have under 10 minutes left, so
That was an incredibly grindy game.
it was awesome.
I love it.
That's how the Grixis deck.
Yeah, that's how it wants to play.
It took so long because of the surgical extraction.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, again, I really don't think it's a card I would want to board in against another control deck.
Yeah.
But it definitely complicated matters for Kyle. It's certainly his best win condition.
It didn't really win Alex obviously didn't win Alex the game. It also, I don't think it would have really been winning Alex the game. It's just you don't lose. I don't even know.
What I see Surgical doing in a deck like this is it fits under the mentality of playing not to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to delay the game, but since Kyle's is the deck with more removal with planeswalkers and stuff like that, you don't really want to play as long of a game.
Right.
I think you're the Daze deck,
Yeah.
You want to be able to leverage your cheap counter magic in order to pressure your opponent. So something like Surgical, while maybe good at disrupting certain things, like hitting Lightning Bolt is maybe even more appealing than hitting something like Pyromancer.
Right. Yeah, and we see it's awkward later in the game. Alex brought in Gut Shot, basically just for young Pyromancer.
Yeah.
But he had already used his
got rid of
surgical.
all of them.
Yeah. So his Gut Shots were going to be pretty worthless.
Kyle quickly mulliganing to 6 there. His hand had no lands.
I think these players are aware that they don't have a lot of time. Getting a draw in round 1 is basically both players lost.
Yeah, it is a double loss.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a fleeting match point that no one gets.
David Gleischer passing through the room. Did you win?
I lost.
What did you lose to?
Esper Stoneblade.
Did you lose the tone?
No, it was a new guy.
New guy.
I can't remember his name.
New blood.
New blood. We'll see if Kyle can find a good 6 off of this. Alex keeping 7 is kind of scary. He can have some pretty quick draws for a mono blue deck. I mean, they kill you quack.
Yeah.
They kill you quack.
Quack.
Kill you quick. It's really just Turn 1 Delver. Turn 1 Delver is just still one of the best things you can do.
The hands that have it are so much better than the ones that don't.
As always, I'm far more afraid of Turn 1 Delver than Turn 1 Goblin Guy.
That didn't look like it had any lands. Kyle dropping to 5. His deck is not bad at mulliganing. He has cards like Dig Through Time and Baleful Strix to catch him up on cards.
As well as Jace.
He's also on the draw.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, any number of Forcible that he's kept in.
Devastating to draw.
Yeah, it's really bad to draw on a mulligan and a 5.
Absolutely. So hopefully for Kyle, he doesn't see those early. I haven't noticed. I don't think he has any Ponders in his deck.
Sure.
It looks like Thought Scour has sort of replaced that here as just something to fuel the Delve spells instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if he's playing probably 6 or 7 Delve spells, I think you kind of have to play Thought Scour.
Yeah. All right, we see a quick probe, and Turn 1 Delver with the Daze.
But 3 more lands in hand. I guess he has Brainstorm plus Fetch, so he can put some back.
Oh yeah, this hand looks great. At least this hand looks great eventually.
Yes. I guess really just past turn 2. It's already good. What am I saying?
Yeah. Kyle's just going to play Delta and pass, wisely deciding that he wants to wait, not just get his Bolt dazed.
Alex very aggressively brainstorming in his upkeep to set up his Delver.
I kind of think this is a function of the clock.
Sure.
Ooh.
It's possible.
I think Kyle missed a bit of an opportunity there. I think he could have just gone for the Bolt in the upkeep.
Sure.
Because
that's the only spell.
Alex revealed Daze.
And that was the only spell in his hand aside from Brainstorm before?
Yeah, I mean, sure, he could have drawn into another Daze or something like that, or maybe a Spell Pierce.
Or, some other spell that he would have put on top. But he's incentivized to put the spell that Kyle already knew about on top.
Yes. Also, if you're able to resolve that Bolt through the Daze,
right,
which is pretty excellent.
We have another Delver coming down from Alex now. So Kyle definitely under the gun.
Yeah, this is a beating. But Alex did have to use a fetch land this turn, so he's not going to know what his top card is.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure it was a land that he put back beneath that, though, so he could shuffle it away with the Misty Rainforest.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what Kyle decides to do here. Is this an end step Oh, this is another Gitaxian probe. Doing a lot of damage to himself.
Should have decided one out.
Targeting you, we see the Days, a Vendilion Click, and then just 2 more lands. But these Delvers are the real threat here.
Yeah, but I mean, if Kyle can deal with them, there's not much else to do.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to kill one.
Yeah, kill the flipped one.
Yeah, get that out of there and hope that other one doesn't flip.
Yeah.
This Click is definitely going to be annoying, though.
He also has Baleful Strix, so if he can find black mana, then he's looking pretty good. Delver does not flip.
He drew Spellstutter Sprite.
That does not flip Delver.
It does not, but it does protect from another 1-mana removal spell.
That's very true.
We'll see what Kyle can put together here. He does have black mana.
He does? Okay.
Yeah, he was specifically. He had the Underground Sea. I think he was
Ah.
just waiting to play it around Days.
Yeah, so this is great for him. I mean, he probably just play the Strix.
Ooh, I do see Ponder actually. I think playing Strix though is likely correct here. You just want to be able to trade.
Yeah, he knows about the Days.
Yeah, there's not much you can do about that. You can play around the Days for as long as possible.
Draws into Lightning Bolt.
Bolt is good. Here we see the Click.
This is pretty good too.
Yeah.
I don't think you bolt in response.
Yeah. I don't
because
love
of
that bolt. Yeah.
because- Make him take the bolt.
Exactly. I think now.
Now he just leaves you with this.
I think it's pretty tempting to take the Vendilion Click.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yep, and that's what he does. Like you need one of these creatures to live, and theoretically
Yeah.
that Click is going to trade with one of them.
This is still a good spot for Kyle, though.
Yeah.
Although, I mean, Alex has a lot of hits in his deck, such as Back to Basics.
Oh, Back to Basics would be devastating. Yeah, he's like, oops, didn't want to play that island. You definitely want to play the fetch land there, just in case.
When you have Delver.
Yes, yeah. Next turn, you want to be able, like, if you, with the Delver trigger, if you see a spell, maybe you could either see a bad spell
You can see a basic land.
or a basic land.
Get that out of there.
Yeah, use your scry. It's a scry one.
Yeah.
Alex, this is a tough spot if he wants to attack here, and he doesn't. He's deciding not to. And I think it's correct.
Fine to not.
Kyle, drawing the third Gitaxian probe.
Yeah, see? Should have boarded them out. He's tapping his black for Ponder.
He does have Scalding Tarn in his hand, so he can
Okay,
fetch
okay.
another Underground Sea.
So, pretty moot point, I guess.
Yes. But it also sort of works more as a... you're sort of scaring Alex a little bit.
Having 2 red mana.
Kyle...
Is he keeping the Ponder?
Well, I think he's...
It's 2 lands and what?
I think he's definitely Snapcaster Mage. I think he's
Oh, okay.
keeping Snapcaster and then shuffling away both those lands.
Okay.
And he's just going to hope to... So probably Snapcast back a Bolt.
Seems okay.
This...
He's paying for Probe.
I don't hate paying for probe. I do hate not fetching.
Yeah.
He does his top 2 cards are land. I don't think you can afford to draw a 5th land in this scenario. Alex just showing him the hand. Spellstutter Sprite does get quite a bit worse once your opponent knows it's there, much like Days.
Maybe he wanted the land?
It's possible. I mean, let's see. His hand is
He already
just...
played one this turn.
His hand's Brainstorm, Snapcaster, 3rd land, or
Yeah.
5th land.
Delver not hitting. Alex, as you said, scrying 1.
Again, I think it was exactly a basic land.
A virtual scry 1.
Yeah. So he's going to get a fresh draw.
God bless you.
Thank you. We'll see what Alex can draw here.
Gesundheit, Mr. Glacier.
And it was another basic island. Oh, no, it was Dismember. That was a great, great draw.
Alex ain't paid off for not attacking with the Vendilion Click.
Yeah, his patience is being rewarded here for sure. Let's see if Kyle's going to play Brainstorm here. I think this is a bait.
Sure.
And Alex is just going to let it resolve. This is going to at least let him... Let's see, put back 2 lands. Yeah, he sees a couple lands and a Thought Scour, I believe.
Yeah. So probably fetching. How'd you do, Ned?
I lost.
What to?
Deathblade.
It's
True Name
tough.
Nemesis is a good card.
It is.
So is Shite equipped to True Name
It
Nemesis?
is hard to beat.
Yeah. I mean, like, at one point I had, like, Thali in play and, like, Revoker on Jite.
Yeah.
But he was able to draw enough lands, then when he Swords of Plowshares, the Revoker.
What a
just, like,
jerk.
killed me with True Name. And True Name's kind of tough to deal with, even without equipment.
It's pretty tough, yeah.
Kind of, yeah, you just gotta get your Sword of Fire and Ice going.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta be pretty ahead.
Yeah.
We see an end-step Thought Scour from Kyle here, and it looks like Kyle's going to be turn 1, flipping Flusterstorm and Vendilion Click and drawing Counterspell. Not great. It's basically impossible, I think, for Kyle to win the game in the allotted time. He did just draw dig through time, though, which is pretty great.
It helps. I mean, the players are about to go to time, it seems. So it seems like there's a good chance Kyle's just playing for the draw.
Yeah, I think he's just want to try and spot removal all of Alex's creatures here.
Rajinsky, thank you for the follow. Sorry for mispronouncing your username, as I'm sure I just did.
Yeah, he knows that Alex's hand is just going to be Spellstutter Sprite and I believe a land.
Cook the fourth. Links are not banned, at least from you, because we trust you.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's this link is legacy related.
Correct.
If Alex was playing a more dedicated fairies deck, he could spell stutter spread the dig through time. Maybe if you played some Baby Blossoms.
You would need a lot of fairies.
If you went back in time, played blue black fairies.
If only dig through time when you delved it, it actually cost 2.
Yeah.
Because then he could. He does have Spellstutter Sprite in his hand, and he has Vendilion Click out.
Yeah.
Not going to be quite enough. Looks like Kyle dug into Bolt Young Pyromancer. He knows if he goes for the Pyromancer, it's just going to immediately get sprited.
Yep.
So he's going to start with Lightning Bolt.
And this will get sprited.
Alex will oblige. And I think this is getting counterspelled.
Makes sense.
He
TX
is,
Rager, what's up in the chat?
he is going to 5 here. I think if Alex draws actual counterspell, he might be able to pull out this game. If like his top card is counterspell, he flips his Delver,
Yeah.
puts it on a turn 2 turn clock.
Mm-hmm.
Both those creatures are down. Let's see what Alex can top deck here. No.
Delver never flipping.
3 or 4 times in a row. This is a turn 1 Delver, wasn't it?
Possibly.
No,
Attack
this
for
is-
one.
this is the,
this is the
second
replacement.
Delver, yeah.
It's like a turn 2 Delver, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that means that he's not going to be able to kill Kyle in the allotted turns. He's got one more turn to attack. So there's one spell he can flip that will kill Kyle next turn if this Delver survives.
Yeah.
Got shot.
Gut shot.
It's a good one.
We know it's in his deck.
Oh, 'cause he's mono blue. That makes sense.
If Kyle obliged, Vapor Snag could as well.
Ooh, Kyle will not oblige. Kyle has Pyromancer and Pyroblast and Snapcaster Mage.
Okay.
Oh.
That seems gross.
He has a lot of things. A lot of things going on.
I think Kyle probably would win this game going long.
It's pretty likely. Alex got really unlucky not flipping this Delver for so long,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like he's going to be able to get there, especially if Kyle kills this Delver this turn. I think the long-term game certainly favors him. His hand is just Pyroblast, Snapcaster, but he has the more powerful top decks.
Yeah. Turn 1 Lackey seeing.
Yes, Vapor Snag's another one that would get him.
Only if Kyle played a creature there.
He did.
Which he did.
Yeah, he did.
But unfortunately, Kyle with 2 removal spells in his hand. I think right now he's deciding which one he wants to go with.
Mm-hmm.
I think you wait. I don't think there's a reason to do it now.
Make him flip it.
Yeah. Is this Snapcaster Mage? This is Snapcaster Mage. I think you gotta Pyroblast this, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Seems like it.
I think this still puts you dead to Vapor Snag and,
Gut shot.
yeah.
Yep.
Man. The swings.
I'm a fan of both of those cards dealing the last point of damage.
If he flips, I guess he could also flip a cantrip into one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is even more ideal. That's my favorite. That's my favorite way to win a lot of times is brainstorm into the exact card you need.
Yeah.
Or usually it's the exact sequence of cards.
Why not?
So there's the Pyroblast. All right, this is it. Will Alex top deck?
So we are in turn 4. There's a Young Pyromancer token.
Come
I
on.
don't know, maybe he declined to make it. I don't see one.
No, it doesn't look like it. Oh
No
man.
hit. So that Delver just really didn't want to flip.
No, he likes being a human. Doesn't like being an insect.
Looks like we're going to a draw.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kyle immediately passed out. 2 islands. Yeah, just he was gonna miss again next
The
turn.
win was not forthcoming.
Man, that was
Deathblade, I boarded in
That was great.
The Spirit of the Labyrinth. No. And then like the 2 Council's Judgments.
That's for sure.
And then I also boarded in the Rest in Pieces against his like Death Ray Shotgun shenanigans. But it felt kind
Yeah.
of emotional, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you could board in 1 Rest in Peace. Mostly the main deck is fine in that matchup.
I just felt like
I would just
Ninkara
bring.
wasn't great.
It's actually really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
have
it's
to
quicker.
blow up Jitte.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's actually like pretty good. Council's Judgment's very good.
Okay, yeah, I think I probably should have taken out the 2 Mirror Crusaders for 2 Council's Judgments and just left everything else.
Crusader's okay because it's good against Batterskull, but you're right. That
walks
it probably
right into
comes
Swords-
out
bad against Swords of Honor.
Talk to chat.
right. Sorry. Hello, chat. I'm talking to Ned about.
I know.
Death
I'm
and
stop.
Taxes.
I'm abolishing this. That was an awesome match.
It was very good.
I wish it would have been able to come to a natural conclusion.
I think Kyle was favored.
I think Kyle was favored, but I think Alex got incredibly unlucky for that to be the scenario.
Yes. It was close. Also, there were a lot of hits remaining in Alex's deck.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing. So, like, he was going to be able to... Like, Kyle was going to be able to kill that Delver next turn.
Yeah.
With
If Alex just ever
Setcaster.
finds True Nemesis or Back to Basics, then it's just over.
Yeah,
right?
but, I mean, he needs back to basics, but he also needs a creature.
I guess he also needs it pretty quickly because Kyle established Young Pyromancer.
Yeah, and that was just gonna close the game.
Yeah.
I mean, I think...
It was going to be like 3 attacks or something.
Yeah, I think so. But that was sweet. I think that was a very close match. Like, Alex's deck is very well prepared to play against other blue decks because he doesn't have Force of Will. He has all these counter spells and Snapcaster Mages.
Yeah.
So
Good mana base.
Yeah.
Not susceptible to Wasteland.
and like Haymakers, like Back to Basics are really, really impressive.
Totally. You want to take a look at that playmat that Cook the Fourth was linking to now?
Sure.
I think it's a little further up. There you go. We're taking a look at the link now. Oh, that's
Whoa.
badass.
Whoa!
That's really good.
Man!
Wait, where are they doing these? Oh,
We'll have
it's just she just made them.
Wow, they'll be at Grand Prix Charlotte.
Wow.
I think I'm going to that.
You should see how much those are. Those are pretty
Yeah,
cool.
those are insane. Like, I'm pretty pleased with the brainstorm map, but this is really, really sweet.
Yeah.
Therese Nielsen art is always, top of the line.
Yeah, I love her art so much.
Easily one of the best Magic artists by a wide margin.
I like her basic lands.
Yeah.
She doesn't do a lot, but
She-
they're really good.
Her and Rebecca Goy is the same way. She doesn't do very many basic lands, but the ones she's done are just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Nielsen has one in like Invasion. It's an island. It's like it's hard to describe, but it's like an island like falling into the ocean.
Yeah.
It's really good.
but someone isn't. Yeah. All right, so should I go take a look and see?
Yeah, you want to go see what we can put on?
Yeah, I'll go take a look.
Ned lost, so probably not Ned.
Not Death and Taxes?
Nah.
Even though you love it?
Maybe if he gets a 2-1, we can put him on in the 4th round. Phil's gonna go survey the winners bracket. Let's see what else going on in chat. Oh, David L. Byer, we are located in Chicago. MTG Card Market's on the north side of the city. Oh, that question was aimed at someone else. Sorry. My fault. I should read all of chat, not just some of chat. Any other things going on? Not too much. So we're about to move to round 2. It looks like actually we have our players about to sit down. So I am going to update this overlay. If it will let me.
Who doesn't love Enchantress?
Oh god. Simon?
Oh yeah, Simon versus Kevin Huang.
That's badass. Alright, so we're able to bring you Enchantress tonight.
For your viewing pleasure.
Yeah. Man, I love playing against Enchantress.
I bet you do. It's the best possible matchup,
easy. Right? It's so easy.
All right, we will hop down. I told Simon I would do this.
Yeah.
I would list it as 5-color Enchantress.
5 color.
It is.
What's the black?
I have no
Yeah,
idea.
right? I don't think there is.
It might be.
I don't know what the blue is either.
Maybe he has Words of Wind.
Maybe. I know he has Words of War.
He definitely has that. I'm listing it.
Is he playing against, who is that?
Kevin Huang.
Oh, okay.
Who is playing Blue, White, Red Delver.
What?
I know he's a big Storm fan as well. Because I know he was trying. I've seen him post in the high-end Magic group about getting Japanese foil, like Infernal Tutors
Oh,
and the
jeez.
like. So his deck, I think, is generally very pretty. Should I call it Jeskai?
Yes.
Jeskai Delver.
It's the new name that sounds the coolest.
It is the lingo. It is what it is now.
Yeah. people have adopted Jeskai. They have not adopted
Teamer.
Teamer.
Teamer, I think, has been the least adopted of all of them. Sultai, I think, is...
Maybe Mardu.
I actually like Sultai. Mardu is like... Here's the thing. Mardu, I think, is not... It's not that it's not adopted. It's that when have you ever played a Mardu deck?
That's true.
I honestly can't think of a single time where I've submitted a deck that's playing those colors, but not also playing a 4th or 5th color.
Sure.
I
played it a little in Standard. That deck was miserable.
I definitely did not. I would have never... there's nothing you can do to convince me to play that deck.
Yeah.
I've definitely played 4-color non-green.
Mm-hmm.
I've played 4-color non-green. I've played 4-color non-red. I like 4-color decks. They're great. But I would basically never play that color combination. Maybe Burn.
TX Rager asks about the Death and Taxes versus Enchantress matchup.
Oh boy.
So the reason that it's so good for Death and Taxes is mostly Flicker Wisp, because Enchantress largely relies on stuff like Wild Growth on their lands.
Yeah.
But you can turn that off.
Yes, you can. All right, so we see Simon leading with Miri's Guile off Basic Forest, which is basically perfect.
Yep.
And I see that Blood Moon is present in his hand.
Ooh, Vingo, thank you for the follow.
And Kevin just going to go Tundra, a nice black border Tundra, into turn 1 Delver.
Sure. This is...
Turn
all
to
right,
Enchantress.
no counter. You want to pull up Miri's Guile?
I do.
So that is...
top every upkeep.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no fanciness about it. It's just top every upkeep.
And Argothian Enchantress is 0/1 Shroud.
Shroud, not hexproof.
Whenever you cast an enchantment, you draw a card?
Correct.
Not when it resolves?
Correct.
Okay.
But yeah, we see...
Patrunken Fat, thank you for the follow.
1000th time.
Yeah, I don't think that's the first one.
But yeah, we see that Kevin is going to flip his Delver.
Well-known Legacy Scrub, Patrunken Fat.
That is that is not a morph. That is actually a flip Delver.
Yeah.
I wonder how Simon feels about this matchup. Simon has more experience with this deck than basically anyone I know.
Yep.
I expect a Blood Moon is incoming, though.
That makes sense. He loathes playing against me.
Certainly. I mean, Flicker Wisp is just an absolute beating.
Also Thalia.
It's the matchups I know also pretty great for Elves.
Yeah, that makes sense. They have to have very specific cards very quickly.
And let me tell you, the combination of Reclamation Sage plus Fire with Symbiote, absolute beating. They had to put enchantment on there, right? That was necessary.
Yeah.
All right, so we see a fetching of a Plateau off maligned Legacy land.
Looking pretty good right now. Trigger Argothian Enchantress.
Here we go.
Off of my Blood Moon.
How do you feel about your mountains?
Oh, it resolves.
It resolves? Oh, dear. Well, we'll see.
He still has to draw his cards, so it's still on the stack, technically.
We'll see if there's a Force of Will or a Daze, and there isn't, and we've got mountains. Everybody's got mountains.
Oh, boy. This might be too much for Jeskai Delver to come back from. What is the creature on the bottom that's all whited out?
They are both Delvers.
Okay.
One is a flip Delver.
Okay.
Oh, Elephant Grass is pretty great here.
Also looking at a Replenish.
Jeez.
I had an old copy of, I think, what is it called? Sideboard Magazine, I think, with Replenish on the cover, and I thought it looked so freaking cool.
Elephant Grass, make it. It's a ghostly prison.
Yep.
/ propaganda for non-black creatures, and then it randomly is also just black creatures can't attack.
Yep.
Which is randomly super hateful against Dredge.
Well, way back in Visions, black creatures were just too good.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just way too good.
But Elephant Grass, an absolute beating here.
Yep.
Simon is going to pay the cumulative upkeep here.
Simon just kind of, I mean, if he can find
I don't think he needs to find anything else.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the no-fail zone, just with the Blood Moon.
Well, I think the Blood Moon in combination with this Words of War.
Yeah.
I think this Words of War is just going to gun down both these creatures, and then it's up to Kevin to just draw a bunch of bolts.
Right. So he's paying for both creatures to attack. Simon down to 5.
He can still cast Bolt. That's a big thing. You got mountains, but...
Yeah, if you can get him to 3.
I don't think he's going to be able to get him to 3 here.
But maybe 2 bolts.
He is going to pay. Let's see if he's able to kill at least one of these things. So he's going to go Miri's Guile, trigger, bolt your flip Delver.
Yep.
play a land, pass. So Bolt is still a live draw, and just refusing to put. Batterskull's another thing you can cast, but it cannot attack.
It is a black creature.
And we're almost in Bolt range, but not quite.
Yeah.
So the way Simon stacks this is he puts the Miri's Guile trigger on top, so he doesn't have to pay yet.
Yeah.
And then he's going to replace his actual draw for turn with Words of Wind.
He is not paying the cumulative upkeep on Elephant Grass.
Nope. Here's Batterskull.
Here's Batterskull. So he needs to find another way to stop this Batterskull, it looks like.
He's got to pass, attack with Batterskull, jump block.
Wow. This it's not looking great for Simon.
He locked himself out of white mana.
He can replenish here?
He can't.
No? Oh, yeah, he doesn't have white.
He
Crazy.
He drew Argothian Enchantress so he can jump block again.
Sounds great.
I don't think he can cast any spells in his hand.
Oh, wow. So this Blood Moon just... Wow. The one of Batterskull.
Discard to hand size, Miri's Guile,
Is that... Oh.
3 uncastables, and a concession.
Wow.
Man, I did not expect that.
Oh, my God. That Blood Moon
My goodness.
just needed basic planes.
Yeah, he really did. That's something that will happen sometimes with your Blood Moon deck.
Yeah, he kind of whiffed on...
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, the main thing I think he whiffed on there was his was just white mana.
Yeah.
I mean, he specifically locked himself out of white mana, like he knowingly did that.
On turn 3.
Yeah, which is I think fine most of the time, but not being able to cast that replenish ended up being really, really tough to come back from.
Yeah, and Kevin just naturally drawing the Batterskull.
Yeah, I mean that was one of his 6 castable spells in his deck, maybe.
Yep.
He could have kept paying for grass as well.
Yeah.
So that definitely came back to hurt him. I just don't think he was expecting Batterskull.
Yeah, he didn't know about it. I mean,
So
it's one card.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he's Stoneforge Mystics in his deck.
Yeah, but he can't cast it.
Exactly. Yeah. No. He has to draw exactly Batterskull for that to do anything.
Right. And 5 lands in your 18 land deck or whatever.
Try to see if there is a white spell. I don't see it anywhere. I wonder. I thought I saw a Courser of Krufix in his sideboard, which would be awesome. I know he has the one of Eidolon of Blossoms, which he immediately sideboarded out because he hates it.
When that card was printed, Simon said it was just completely infuriating for him in the enchantment block.
Yes. Yes. It's like, look at all these enchantments. Plays none of them.
I'm very surprised he's playing it at all.
I think the spell he's much happier to play from around that time, but not from that block, is Mana Bloom.
Sure.
The Mana Bloom.
Yeah, just every turn draw a card. Right?
I think he called it just Green Ancestral or something like that.
Yeah, sort of.
I wonder if Kevin has any strong cards. I'm sure he has something like Wear Tear.
Yeah.
I don't know what else he would have. He's a lot of removal spells that are horrible. I'm sure the 3 cards that are face down right now are Swords to Plowshares.
That makes sense. Lightning Bolt's still okay to
yeah.
speed up the clock.
Yeah, it's a Wear Tear, a Grim Lavamancer, and a sort of Feast and Famine that are coming in for those 3.
I would imagine that Simon's boarding in some artifact destruction. Like Crow's and Grip, maybe?
I would expect maybe something like Seal of Primordium instead.
Sure.
Kevin does have 3 Meddling Mages that he's looking at. I think he's going to try and make room for.
I don't know what you put it on, though.
I also don't know what to put it on, but I think he's trying to decide if it's better than something like... It looks like he has True Name there. I actually think True Name's pretty good.
I think you want all of the threats.
Yeah, I think maybe Daze is just not great. It's really easy for the Enchantress deck to ignore Daze.
It's really... I think you have to keep it in your deck when you're on the play.
Yeah, and he's not on the play.
Getting ahead in the first few turns is super important against Enchantress.
Also, for Enchantress versus Delver, the big thing that Simon was missing that game was Utopia Sprawl.
Yeah.
Or Wild Growth. Some effect like that.
I think he plays 8.
Yeah, you play the full 8. You play 4 Wild Growth, 4 Utopia Sprawl.
Mm-hmm.
Both are extremely important.
Yeah.
Just to beat, any mana denial.
Right.
Plus, stuff like Spell Pierce, any soft permission.
Oh, I forgot. The other reason why Enchantress is good for Death and Taxes is Rishon Import.
Oh, jeez.
On the Wild Growth's land.
It looks like he did board out a couple True Names and boarded in 2 Meddling Mage.
Okay.
Maybe
it's better. I don't know.
Well, they're the bolts.
A lot of them. He doesn't have Delver. He has Ponder, and he has Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce is good.
He has no creature, though.
Yeah.
He doesn't Ponder. I think this is a pretty close hand. He has Brainstorm as well.
He has 2 lands. He has Ponder, Brainstorm.
He has the right number of lands, but he has like too many spells.
I think Spell Pierce is one of his better cards, though.
Yeah, Spell Pierce is good. Bolt's literally Lava Spike.
Yeah, it's not great, but I think it's a keep.
Yeah, I think you keep this hand based on the strength of your cantrips.
Yeah.
Like, you have a lot of cards, you have a lot of chances to see a Delver or a Stoneforge Mystic or something.
Right. You just lead turn 1 Volcanic Pass. Hopefully you can Spell Pierce turn 2.
Ooh. Simon with the turn 1 Miri's Guile. Nice Ponder.
So good.
And Kevin with a land pass. Miri's Guile finding a Plateau and a Wild Growth.
This might be a Spell Pierce. Kevin considering. His Spell Pierce is going to be garbage if it resolves.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's like tempting to just burn it right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's getting worse. Like, it might be nothing.
Simon accidentally putting his Plateau in the graveyard. It's like, no.
That's a Taiga.
Taiga, excuse me. Ooh, Wasteland is pretty good here. Ooh, this is where like Meddling Mage is good.
Yeah.
You just want, like, if he's able to, like, he could go Wasteland here. Hope Simon doesn't have a second land.
Yes.
And then next turn Meddling Mage Argothian Enchantress if he misses on land.
Yeah, that's definitely the card you name with Mage.
Ooh, Daze is actually pretty great as well. He has Daze and Force of Will there.
Yeah. You probably, you waste and you hold up Daze, right?
You could hold up Daze or Force of Will. Let's see what Kevin decides to do here. I think it's pretty close between the two because if you decide to hold up Daze and you have to cast it, you're definitely not casting Meddling Mage the next turn.
Yeah, that's a good point. Looks like he goes with Daze.
Yeah, and he's gonna Wasteland.
Daze is getting a lot worse as the game goes on. Simon does not have another land.
Ooh. And he's just gonna pass.
He has Miri's Guile. And
Definitely.
he is Miri's Guile locked.
I believe this is
Sort of.
Yep, there's the Mana Bloom.
And that is Meddling Mage.
Yeah, and I would be stunned if this is naming anything but Argothian Enchantress.
Yeah, you want me to pop out a check though?
Sure.
Very nice Meddling Mage.
Oh yeah. All of his cards. Those are Japanese foil Scalding cards right there. Let's see what Simon can do here about this. He's in a pretty rough shape just breaking on these lands. He's just got to find one within these top 3. Not under a ton of pressure on this Meddling Mage, but it is going to add up pretty quickly. There's a Sword of Feast and Famine. Now it's definitely going to add up. This could be over quickly.
You called it, Phil.
Argothian Enchantress?
Yep.
Alright, so Simon does draw Elephant Grass, but I'd imagine this is getting dazed.
Seems good.
The Sword of Feast and Famine going to be a lot more valuable as plus 2 damage.
Yep.
That is getting dazed. Yeah, this is just Delver doing Delver things right at this point. We're going to see an equip, swing for 4.
Yeah, this seems like too much to come back for Simon.
Simon discarding in Enchantress's presence. He does finally find a second land. Let's see if he has anything to play.
That Spell Pierce play was kind of the game.
There is Mana Bloom for 1. We see a Brainstorm in response. Brainstorm,
Looking
Grim
for
Lavamancer, and he's bricked, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Kevin, I should say. Pretty fortunate for Simon. I mean, Kevin could Force of Will this. It's a little tempting,
Eh.
but I
don't
think
know if it's worth
I guess you'd probably just wait for a good card.
Exactly.
Let's see.
Oh yeah. For Drunken Fat is Wilson Hunter.
Yeah, he is currently bragging that he nailed me on a therapy.
Yeah.
He leveled me pretty badly.
Well-known Legacy Scrub for Drunken Fat.
Correct. Yeah, he got me pretty bad. I do remember that. Wilson, that's his name? Yes.
His name is Petruncan Fat.
Excuse me, Petruncan Fat.
Sorry. Legacy Scrub.
No, I remember that very well because he was my only... I was 3-0. When we were both 3-0 when I played.
Oh.
Because I had played some pretty insane matches that day playing Elves. That's a pretty horrible matchup anyways.
Elves versus Storm?
It's really, really bad.
Yeah, it's probably 70-30.
Yeah.
In that range,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Not good.
It's almost impossible to win game 1. All right, so Simon playing Sterling Grove here. This is a card that I think is tempting to Force of Will.
Gerald.
And we see Force of Will and revealing 2 bolts, and that's the game.
Is Emgrin, are you asking about our start time or another tournament? This is round 2 Gibbous, and this is the end.
Did you see the story that he told
What story?
So when I played against Wilson, I was playing Elves. He was playing Storm.
Okay.
We go to game 2.
Okay. You lost game 1.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course I lost game 1.
Yeah.
He killed me on turn 2.
Yeah.
And we go to game 2. I believe I went Creature Go. He went Island Pass.
Okay.
I went Therapy. He sits there, tanks, taps his island, untaps his island, tanks, and says, okay.
Yeah.
I snap name Brainstorm.
He got you.
Oh, yeah. I actually talked about this with a
Did
few
you
other
know what
people.
he was playing against? Or what he was playing?
It was game 2.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
It's the whole point of the story.
Did you know?
Yeah, my main deck therapies and elves. But
Yeah.
I named Brainstorm thinking that I was being clever. Turns out he was the one who was being clever.
Yeah.
Got me pretty badly.
How many LEDs did he have in his hand?
1.
Okay.
1 LED. I would not have hit 2 cards of anything.
Okay.
I actually don't think I had a creature.
Did he have the Infernal Tutor?
I believe he had Grim Tutor.
That also works.
Which I wouldn't have named.
Right.
Ever in a million years.
Yeah.
That's one of the last cards I named.
Yeah, I know their play group likes playing 1 or 2 Grim Tutors.
I can't imagine they'd play 2 Grim Tutors.
I don't know.
I can't imagine drawing 2 Grim Tutors, mostly.
You want to draw 1 tutor every game.
Exactly. That card's expensive, and making your Past in Flames loop cost 6 life is pretty
Yeah.
painful at times. I do think the card is very good, though. I think playing 1 is completely reasonable. Oftentimes, playing Storm, you just lose because you don't draw a tutor.
Yep. You have all this mana and nothing to do with it.
Basically. All right, so that was a pretty quick match.
Yeah, you want me to pop out and see if anyone will move over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Tone will say no.
Okay. Why?
He said he doesn't like moving in the middle of
Oh,
matches.
what a jackass.
And he's playing Nathan, who also doesn't like moving in the middle of matches.
What assholes.
But yeah, go take a look. Anyways, 2 Grim Tutors. Okay, I understand cutting ad nauseum, but I think it's really dependent on people. If people are playing Hymn to Torak, like it's a single best card. I mean, like I do think 2 Past in Flames is pretty great against any grindy blue deck. Empty, I've gone back and forth on. I think Empty's kind of a crutch. I even playing in the sideboard, I've been like really unimpressed with the card. With the exception of a few matchups, like you either get put in situations where it's just not good enough, or you just you have it in a situation where you could just actually kill them. Yeah, I think you need to play ad nauseum in the 75. It's impossible to get away from. I think game 1. I mean, like I've tried empty main deck. I haven't liked it because I think you should always be able to kill them game 1 when you go off. I don't like passing, especially since there are other combo decks around, and like ad nauseum is also excellent against other combo decks. Although most of the combo decks are blue, where Past in Flames is pretty excellent, and drawing Past in Flames in particular is quite good. But I have seen that strategy of just like not playing ad nauseum main. I remember I did that the last time I played empty main and ad nauseum in the sideboard was when Blue Red Delver was really big. Just because you could just never cast ad nauseum against the deck that would just kill you on turn 4 every time. So yeah, that certainly happens. Yeah, I think in those situations I just like try and wait longer, because I feel like those usually happen when the turn 1 hands. Yeah, I don't like going for it on turn 1. I just want to kill them. I want to dead them. And I think that would explain like why I've been playing like 7 discard spells for a while. I recently went back down to 6. I like playing a more protracted game, but I think it's completely defensible to do it the other way. Like playing empty in your main deck means you're much more likely to do something on turn 1 and be more explosive in that regard. I guess the question is just whether or not you need to do that or not. Yeah, that is a pretty hilarious username. Steven Speck did nothing wrong. Local scumbag, Steven Speck. Actual local scumbag.
Not ideal.
Did you lose?
Oh yeah.
Was he playing Painter?
Yes.
Okay. Local hero, Tone, Anthony Zinni, getting crushed by Painter.
Enchantress into Painter. Just
Can't possibly win.
expected.
Oh, that's so bad for your deck.
Expected metagames.
Tone likes playing mid-range blue decks, and mid-range blue decks have a real tough time against both Painter and Enchantress.
So we have Jason on camera.
Oh, sweet. Playing against?
Mono Blue Delver.
Oh, it's Alex again?
Yeah, I mean, they were the ones that had a natural, and I think they finished game 1.
Oh, wow. What's Jason playing? I see a oh my god.
I saw a Grindstone in play.
Oh my goodness.
I don't really know what else.
I saw a Slaughter Games and a Thopter Foundry and a Cyborg, so I have no idea what's going on.
So
there's a Lab Maniac. Oh, it's Doomsday. There's a Lab Maniac.
Yeah,
Power Blast.
Jason Wang, he plays some crazy shit.
Who won game 1?
I believe Alex won game 1, and it was close.
I can't imagine it gets better for him post-board.
Probably not.
That's how you spell his name, right?
Yes.
It looks like he's... I mean, I saw the Mox Opal, so I'd imagine he's playing some Doomsday deck.
Yep.
What's his record? Did he win his first round?
I believe these players would be 1-0.
No? Alex
Why?
is definitely 0-0.
Oh, he did draw. Crap. I'll check.
Okay.
Forgot about that. I thought Alex won for some reason.
Foolish.
Oh, gosh.
Alright. Getting some more Mono Blue Delver action for you guys. I love this deck. This deck's sweet. I already made it known what I feel about Snapcaster. Yeah. I can talk to Jason. I'll see if he can post it to the Facebook group. Jason's lists are always completely insane. I believe... No, it looks like he's playing Painter. Oh, this is Blue-Red Painter.
Jason is 1-0.
He's also playing Painter.
Okay.
He's not playing Doomsday. Sorry, guys.
Wait, I thought you said you saw a Lab Maniac.
I thought I did. No, it's definitely a Painter list.
Emgrin, I think Jason has posted his Doomsday list in the past on our Facebook page.
He definitely has. Yeah.
So if you just
The
search
Stormboards.
Wooberg XYZ on Facebook, you can find our Facebook page. Whenever there are interesting decks that people are asking the lists for, we try to, we're friends with all these guys locally, so we try to get their deck list put online.
It's pretty easy to rope him into doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just playing a Blue-Red Painter deck.
Okay.
I saw like Flusterstorm, a bunch of Pyroblasts.
No
It makes
third
sense.
color?
I don't think so. I don't think you need a third color.
It's hard for me to believe out of Jason.
This is like, I mean, he's pretty greedy. I did see Mox Opal. I'm assuming he has LEDs in there as well. Like, usually these versions have LED.
I think I saw Sensei's Divining Top.
He's a big Goblin Welder fan.
Yes.
I know that. I know from Vintage he's a huge Goblin Welder fan. I'm sure Tromon Lackey... There are goblins, so you should be happy.
Jason is a primarily vintage player, I guess.
Yeah, as much as one can be.
Yeah.
Did you see the Vice video today?
I did not.
Yeah, that
what
was...
was that exactly?
So there was a Vice video...
I saw the link. I didn't actually have time to check it out.
It followed around, basically, it talked about Jacob Wilson
Okay.
and, like, him, like, top-ending the Pro Tour a couple times and how, like...
How salty he was to get second.
Basically. How, like, yeah, he was, like, real upset to get losing the finals. But it was, like, it followed him and it followed these two guys who live in Long Island who are big vintage players.
Okay.
It was awesome.
How long is the video?
Like 25 minutes.
Oh, that's sweet.
So
it's like an alternative to Walk the Plains?
Yeah, it's a Vice video, is what it is, which is great. It's a Vice video on Magic.
Sounds pretty cool.
All right, and
That's a mulligan.
pretty quick no-lander.
Yeah.
Let's see what. It looks like Alex has kept his 7, but the video was sweet. It was.
Yeah, I'll watch that later for sure.
Yeah, you would like it. It's one of those things where it's a third party, looking into Magic. They interview a lot of big Magic personalities.
Those are always sweet.
Yeah.
That's a good person to choose, Jacob Wilson.
Yeah.
So he like dropped out of college, right?
That was or he
Or is taking a break.
is
or something.
taking a break. Yeah.
I mean, people have done that in the past.
I've almost never seen someone take a break and then go back.
I think it might make more sense. Like, obviously, the timing doesn't always work out for like when you break it. Like get your break onto the Pro Tour. But like if you can put it as a gap year between high school and college, that obviously would be more ideal.
Yeah, they're big into vintage.
That's cool.
Like I think they invented a lot of the big decks apparently. I feel like Fiorino Brothers or something like that.
Sure.
I don't necessarily remember.
Gibbous asked in the chat, with Modern Masters 2015 coming out, when might be the best time to buy into Affinity for Modern? I would imagine maybe a month after Modern Masters drops, something like that.
Yep.
Usually the prices have settled down some. Like Mox Opal is still gonna probably be expensive since it's still at Mythic.
I agree with Ian. College is shit.
I don't know if I agree.
I've done it twice. Trust me.
Yeah, well, not all of us had to do it twice.
It's true. I didn't have to do it twice. No one has to do it twice.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what's going on in Jason's hand here. Looks like he's short on red mana.
College is for making friends.
That's basically. I can agree with that statement. So Alex flipped his Delver to Spell Pierce. So that's definitely going to be a relevant spell to disrupt what Jason's presenting here.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to be able to brainstorm with Pierce up though. Let's see if Alex has like Spell Starter Sprite. I think that would be perfect. Does not though. He's going to let it resolve. Jason just looking to hit I think Scalding Tarn basically.
Yep.
Any red mana source to unlock these blasts in his hand. I think has hit a fetch land. I think there's a Flooded Strand hidden in there.
Sure.
Let's see what we got. There's a Thirst for Knowledge.
Why not?
All right.
Vintage staple.
Let's see if we're gonna see the old Painter attack.
Probably. It's not doing anything else.
All right, we see a fetch
Here's
and Goblin Welder. Tribal Goblins.
Not as good when you're mulliganing that low,
Certainly not.
but I guess no one's deck is that good when you're mulliganing that low.
Oh yeah, I think I saw a Batter Skull in his deck.
Why not? It's an artifact.
Jason's insane.
He is insane. Jason Wong is a local PhD candidate, I believe in astrophysics.
Sure.
At Northwestern. He's basically just a mad scientist.
I believe it.
He is completely out of his mind.
We have a couple PhD candidates who play here. I know Dominic. Oh, Dominic is not a PhD. He's a postdoc.
Yeah, we used to have a few more PhD guys. I think most of them have finished up school. This is an attempted spell pierce on a Goblin Welder.
No, sir.
It does do things that seem more spell-like than
more-
creature-like.
I would say it's closer to a planeswalker than a creature.
Okay. It's sort of more like an artifact itself.
I have never seen Goblin Welder attack for the win.
I have never seen it attack.
I've never seen it. Period.
I don't think I have.
I think I've attacked with it.
All right, in your Goblin deck.
Definitely no.
It's
I think
never a Goblin in a Goblin deck.
I'm pretty sure I was borrowing Welder. Or sorry, borrowing Painter, and
Sure.
I'm playing it, and I attacked with Welder.
Yeah, I think you were doing it wrong. Sorry, everyone. I'm throwing everything everywhere.
Calm down.
I do need to calm down.
All right, we see an attack with the Delver. Jason tapping out of red mana, so he's not going to be able to Pyroblast anything. He does have Intuition in his hand as well, but Intuition is going to be tough to resolve through the Spell Pierce.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on here. Jason's just consulting his sideboard right now, trying to figure out what else he can get with his Intuition. Yeah, he does have another land, so he will be able to play it around Spell Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that Alex will later use the Pierce as shock
Yes.
to make Jason tap that
Why not?
Ancient Tomb.
Seems like a good use.
Yeah, seems completely reasonable. Let's see what Jason's going to do here. I think this Thirst is pretty tempting because he might be able to get an artifact in his graveyard or start getting value off this Welder, but he's definitely under the gun.
Yeah, he has 4 more turns currently.
It's certainly feasible that this top is a bait.
Yeah, it seems like he's really hoping to resolve the Thirst, not the top.
Yeah.
He could use the Pyroblast, something fierce, to deal with this with Delver.
I think he shuffled at least one away. And it looks like, yeah, he's just got Intuition, Thirst in his hand, which is definitely going to make his life total under a significant amount of pressure.
Yeah.
He's going to go to 8 here. And I see that Alex has at least a counterspell in his hand, as well as that Spell Pierce, which is certainly quickly becoming worse, but might be good in tandem with the counterspell.
Yep.
Let's see what Jason can do here. Yeah, he is going to take 2 and just run this Intuition into a spell. He thought about it. Yeah, he is going to run the Intuition into a Spell Pierce.
Yeah. Seems like he just has to. And as you predicted, Spell Pierce being used, well, not only as shock, but also as counterspell.
And this is turning that Delver into a 2-turn clock instead of 3-turn.
Jeez. So Jason probably fetching end of turn here.
There is a.
So yeah.
There's Black Mana.
Right?
Of course.
He cannot help himself.
I guess I did see the Slaughter games.
Well, maybe he was just casting it off Mox Opal.
That's completely possible. We see a top end step finding another Intuition. Wow,
Jeez.
multiple copies of Intuition. Brainstorm and another top.
I don't even know what he's getting off Intuition. I guess the combo.
The combo. I'd imagine the comp. He's Welder.
Yeah.
So getting it into the graveyard is pretty great.
If you can resolve Welder here, the problem is just Alex has all this mana up, I suppose.
Oh, it's man. Excuse me. And Counterspell.
Yeah. Brainstorm resolves.
We see Seed of the Synod, Sensei's Dividing Top, and Intuition.
I agree with Emgrin.
That what?
This list looks sweet Jesus.
I don't think I think this list looks sweet. Jesus.
I'm putting the emphasis wherever I choose.
Wherever you decide to put that.
Yeah.
All right, so Jason resolving this Brainstorm. He's going to be able to see a card deeper with his Sensei's Dividing Top. I think we're going to see a Thirst for Knowledge then.
He might as well throw the Ancient Tomb across the room.
It's not tappable anymore.
Does not seem like that is something you want to do.
He could top to see if his bottom card is a Pyroblast, but on his upkeep, he's going to go for another Intuition, and Alex is going to oblige him with a Counterspell.
Petrunkin, if we know Jason, I would assume that there has to be an LED in his deck.
Oh, I'm certain there's at least a couple LEDs. Let's see. Alex drawing another Counterspell, and that's probably going to lock up the game.
Yeah.
Turn 1 Delver is just so powerful. Maybe he's getting greedy and throwing in a Ninja here, but I'd be stunned to see something like that.
Seems not ideal.
Seems a little aggressive. It looks like he will tap out of this Counterspell, though. He's going to cast... Is this another Delver or maybe a Ponder?
Yeah, one of the benefits to being mono blue, so one of the people in the chat's nickname or username is Steve's Inspected Nothing Wrong.
I saw. Oh, man. We just see 2 straight Vapor Snacks to clinch the game.
Why not?
That's sweet.
It's, yeah. Vapor Snag, pretty awesome card.
It's been a while since we've thought about how that relevant one point.
Yeah.
But I mean, this deck does. So many of these cards were legal and standard at the same time.
Yep.
Which is ridiculous.
I think we have 2 Lackey related usernames now.
Cavern Lackey. Oh my goodness.
Cavern Lackey go. Turn 1 Lackey go. No turn 1 Vial.
Everybody loves Goblin Lackey.
I gotta change my username.
Yeah, not Curse Catcher anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it is the best username, but
it is a horrible card.
I never counter anything.
Yeah, obviously. How could you counter something? Who would play into that?
No one does.
Well, it's usually with Curse Catcher, it's either they bolt it.
It's unkillable.
Yeah. Or they just bolt your other creature, blatantly throwing it into your Curse Catcher. They're just all right, just get it. It's if they're bolting another creature, they're actually just bolting this.
Yeah.
Which is
when they try to bolt the Silvergill Adept.
On turn 2, there's bolt it.
Right.
And you're like, Curse Catcher, and they're like, whatever. Moving on.
Makes me so happy.
So have you decided what you're going to play at the Columbus Invitational?
I don't know. So for Modern, I'm closer to my decision in Modern than Standard.
Good. That's good.
And I think I'm choosing between Blue-White Merfolk, which I just won a PPTQ with.
I heard that.
I did knock Phil out of that tournament. It felt really good. Did
not feel good for me.
So I'm choosing between that and a Grixis Young Pyromancer deck.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not with Delver Secrets. Probably a little more big.
Yeah. You're gonna play a worse version of my deck.
Yeah, I don't think I have the cojones to play. What's it called? Blood Moon in the main.
Yeah.
And the Dalkin Shackles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? I don't understand.
I don't know. How many Shackles does that deck play?
2.
2 in the main,
yeah.
None on the board.
You could play 1 on the board.
How many islands do you play?
7. Basic islands.
Okay. So the black
11
splash
11 total islands.
The black is very light.
It's Tassiger.
Okay.
Go for the Throat. I'm playing that 1 Kolaghan's Command.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
So the thing I like about other versions is you can play a lot of discard. That's
I don't think you need it.
Yeah. Okay.
I think counterspells are better. I think counterspells I think removal is also better. Discard is like discard's okay,
There are combo decks like Amulet, That's
Blood
tough.
Moon.
Yeah, Blood Moon.
Blood
I mean,
Moon.
the other deck plays Blood Moon too, but I guess it doesn't play in the main.
After a certain point, discard and counters are basically interchangeable.
Yeah.
Like,
Are you playing Mana Leak or Remand?
both.
Oh,
I'm playing like 2 leak and 1 remand. Something like that.
weird. I don't know. I'll probably just play Fish.
Yeah, I know.
That would laugh at your deck.
Maybe. Your deck's horrible against Blood Moon.
It's like,
It's kind of funny.
it's whatever.
Is it? Is it?
I'll draw the
4
island.
basic islands.
Don't tell anyone.
It's like my favorite secret. So I will comment real quick. This god awful blue white Merfolk deck, which
I went 8-1 in that event.
Which I don't think it's god awful. I do think it is. It's god awful if you play against Arcbound Ravager.
Yeah, I dodged Affinity. That's the whole.
Yeah.
That's the whole gambit
Well,
of playing Merfolk in Modern.
Well, okay, I will point out Greg got very lucky.
Yes.
In this
In the
top,
top
eight,
eight.
because in the quarterfinals you played against
Burn.
Yes.
That's a good matchup.
Yeah, you played against in the quarterfinals. In the semifinals you played against Grixis Delver.
Well, yeah, sure.
Right?
So in the quarterfinals, Grixis Delver knocked out Affinity.
Because the Affinity player savagely punted.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Harrison said he punted really badly.
Okay. Well, that's
and
great.
He said he just didn't kill Steve when he could have.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah, because
So-
you would have lost.
Yeah. So I guess I have Harrison and Steven Dang to thank for my
Yep.
PPTQ win
you do.
because Steven knocked out Affinity,
Yeah.
which I was going to have to play. And then he also no-sirred the split in top 4, so I got more
Nice.
money.
There you go. I also, I think in general, Snap Bolt decks are pretty good matchups for Fish.
Yes.
Um,
Especially because I'm playing Sig River Guide.
Yes, Sig River Guy in particular.
No one knows about that card, and
Nope.
it's really good.
Steve Speck did nothing wrong, which I can't even saying it makes me sad. Yeah, it's just it's all exactly like Blue Moon or Rug Moon or whatever, but it's splashing Tasker.
Yes.
Which I think is just I mean, Goyf is probably the most the most format warping creature. I think Snapcaster Mage and Tastiger are right up there.
Snap might be.
It's
higher.
right. It's the
Yeah,
same.
1 and
That's
1A.
right. But yeah, it's the exact same deck. Tastiger is functioning similarly in that deck as your extremely cheap threat. It just never gets smaller.
Yep.
It's just it's one and it accrues value in a longer game,
Right.
which is what is so impressive. Also, doesn't die to Abrupt Decay.
Yep.
Although I think Abrupt Decay is probably the lowest I've seen it. The White and Merfolk is for
In the main deck, there are 2 Sig River Guides, which are insane.
and 4 paths.
And 4 paths.
Yeah.
In the sideboard, you also get some pretty good white cards.
Yeah, I've spoken my friend was about to play a GPT, I think, for Modern, and I spoke very highly of Phyrexian Unlife.
Yep.
That card is such a beating.
That completely won me round 1 of that tournament.
And Zoo or Burn?
Burn.
Burn. Yeah, but it crushes both. Of
I
those.
also boarded it in the mirror in round 5 against Gabby Sparts.
It's all right.
She was playing Merfolk. I mean, that matchup is
A
just
race.
whoever's on the play, and it's a race. Fog is a completely fine card in that scenario.
I guess 3 mana Fog's a lot though.
Most of your cards do nothing. You have to board out Spreading Seas and
Curse
Lord
Catcher?
of Atlantis because
Oh,
it
you
pumps
can't-
their guys.
Can't leave in Lord of Atlantis. I actually think you can leave in some number. It's just
It's really bad.
On the
It's
play-
really bad on the draw.
actually on the play.
Pump their guys so they get to attack.
Yeah, that's the kind of statement I would expect JOSU is yeah, I top 8'd a PTQ 4 years ago with Blue White Merfolk or something like that in
Yeah.
Standard. You don't hear about it too much in Modern. I know the people who I've seen play it the most are the Czech guys.
Yes, they like it.
Like Martin Yuza has played Merfolk at
They've been playing
bunch of
mono
Grand
blue the whole time, but I think the white's so free.
it's pretty free. It's close.
It also gives you, also in the sideboard, gives you Stony Silence, which gives you a chance against Affinity,
Yeah.
and it's also excellent against Tron.
Yeah, as we said, I think that the matchup is still horrible against Affinity.
It's not great.
Traditionally, the biggest issue with Merfolk is that you just so you're a creature. You're just a deck that's just all a bunch of relentless rats, right?
Yes.
Affinity is the same deck, but with 1/3 of the curve.
Yes.
They're way lower, way more explosive, and way more evasive.
Yep.
You can't block any of their guys, and they can block all your guys. They have 3
This
mana
is true.
Progenitus, Like,
Stony Silence helps though.
yes, and that's the thing. Like playing the white gives you a chance.
Yeah. Also, having Path instead of Dismember is pretty relevant there.
Yeah.
Like the mono blue
Snag.
versions, yeah, but that's not good against Affinity. Snag is like embarrassing.
No,
against Affinity.
I'm saying having it instead of Snag.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, I agree. Like having actual removal, although you're still literal like you need to be able to kill Steel Overseer on site,
Yes.
or else you just die. But you're still gonna have a tough time being Ravager and stuff like that. Go figure.
Yeah.
Like they have a lot of very problematic cards,
do.
and I've definitely. Okay, no, I've never seen this. I've heard stories from Affinity players of being able to beat Stony Silence just from burning them out. Like people who actually play like Shrapnel Blast and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Depends on the configurations. Yeah.
Every time I played Stony Silence, I win very easily. It's pretty straightforward textbook from there.
Yeah.
But
I think so. The reason to play Merfolk in Modern is I think it's very good against Burn.
Yep.
I think it's favored against Abzan.
yeah, I definitely think you're favored against Black Green decks.
Yeah. Master of Waves is really good there.
Yeah, the specific build that you played with like a million Master of Waves is like, yeah, it's like
It's your payoff card. You got to play 4.
yeah, it's exceptional against Jund, and it's still quite good against Abzan.
Also, 4 Spreading Season the main, I think, is not for discussion. That card is absurd.
I think you are not great against combo, and I think you are not
Depends
great.
on what combo. I think you're actually favored against Twin. Interestingly enough.
I don't think about. Sorry, when I say combo, I mean like dedicated
Okay.
combo.
All right. Not control.
Twin is a control deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although post board, if the Twin player knows what they're doing, I think they're favored.
I think if they have the right sideboard cards.
They should be going way far away from the combo.
Yeah.
They should be going full control.
Yeah.
Probably take out at least three Splinter Twins.
3 or 4. Yeah, like, so I don't think Twin's a horrible matchup unless they happen to have the right sideboard cards. And that's the thing, like, a lot of people don't play the card Anger of the Gods anymore.
Yep.
Or like Fire Spout or Pyroclasm, stuff like that,
Right.
because there just aren't these low creature decks. I mean, there's no pop,
Yep.
is the thing. Like some people might play Zoo
Yeah.
or whatever, but that's, like, the closest I've seen.
Yep.
I
think main deck for Twin, Merfolk is like 75% favored.
You're very favored.
Like,
yeah.
you're playing Island Walk things. They're not going to be able to block very often. Sig is pretty unbeatable for them because they're relying so heavily on their bolts.
Yeah.
You have Path, so they can't safely go for their combo almost ever.
Yeah.
Aether Vial they can't beat, and also Spreading Seas on their red sources is
Yeah.
hugely problematic.
Yeah.
I'm speaking from having played a lot of Twin.
Yeah, Wolf Sokol. The matchup plays out game 1 basically around if the Merfolk player draws 1 Path to Exile, I don't think they can lose because Twin has a really hard time keeping up with all the creatures that you're putting out.
Yeah.
Like specifically there's a Vial involved.
Yeah.
Like,
They
maybe
can't
that-
beat Vial at all.
No, Vial, like, this is a deck with like 4 remands, 2 cryptic commands, like Spell Snare, stuff like that. And if you just invalidate those cards, like they just don't do anything.
And if
Their
Merfolk
decks
has
don't do anything.
time, the time given by Path to protect you against the combo, like, you're just going to take Vial up to 4 and have a giant Master of Waves that they can't actually kill.
Oh yeah, they literally cannot kill Master of Waves. They need to like bounce it with a cryptic command or something like that.
It's very good for Fish if you know what you're doing.
But as I said, I think as you said, I think a prepared Twin player will beat you post board because of like Grim Lavamancer.
Yep.
Like
Engineered
Snapcaster Mage.
Explosives.
Oh yeah, that card's great. Did not draw any of those against you.
Nope. Why would you? You drew all lands.
I'm bad. Yeah, EE is great.
Yep.
EE is delightful. Unfortunately, you can't really play EE in your Merfolk deck. I do not like Ratchet Bomb at all. I think I've avoided playing Ratchet Bomb in basically every situation.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about it in? Have you ever tried it in Death and Taxes?
What card? Engineered Explosives?
Ratchet Bomb.
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
So Bara on the source,
Yeah.
he's Mark. His name is Mark Koenig.
Mark Koenig, yeah.
Yeah, he's like probably the best known Death and Taxes player right now.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, he was playing Ratchet Bomb in his sideboard as a one of, and I think he still does in his mono white list. Although I don't think it's in his red splash list that he's been trying. It's a very interesting and flexible card in Legacy. He boards it in against basically all the Delver decks because it's a way to just like not die to too early flip Delvers.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Or 1, for that matter.
Seems a lot better when people were playing a lot of Young Pyromancers.
Yeah, it was really important against the blue-red versions. He also would board it in against Miracles and leave it on 0 for the first Entreat the Angels. Very weird. Very weird.
I mean,
These are things he did.
that is a way that that deck sort of tends to beat you, I think, a lot of
it
times.
is.
Because the way you want to play the matchup is you want to go like 2 creatures,
Yep.
attack, and just like sit there and like make them swords all your guys, and just
Yeah.
like they kill one, play another, they kill one, play another, and just like sit there.
The problem is when they just go like Entreat X equals 2, and they have 2 guys that are just blank.
yeah, they're bigger than your guys.
Yeah,
yeah. So like,
I have a Thalia and a Revoker or something.
Yeah, Feingersh, have you not read Stony Silence? Do you not see how it works?
With,
I think it works. I think Engineer Explosives is like a really good answer to Stony Silence. Do you agree?
Engineer Explosive.
It's pretty good against Stony Silence.
Not really.
You don't think so?
Not. I don't think
I don't-
that works.
I one time had I had someone. What was I playing? I was playing Blue White Tron,
Yep.
and he boarded in Spellskite to protect his Stony Silence.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Not the best.
No.
Oh, one piece of advice for Merfolk. If you are boarding in your Stony Silences, take out your Aether Vials.
Oh yeah. Or my suggestion is to just like is to take out your Aether Vials before you register for the tournament.
Okay.
And just play a different deck.
Probably the most powerful card in Modern.
Yeah.
You just take it out of
Yeah.
the deck.
Like all of your card that we have up here, take out
Yeah.
all your Curse Catchers and all your Aether Vials and play Magic cards with text.
Snapcasters and Lightning Bolts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Or Goyfs and Thought Seizes.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Gurmag Angler.
What about Tron Lands and Karn Liberateds?
Ugh.
I know lots of people love that.
It pains me. I played Tron in a couple tournaments.
Did you?
Yeah, it was. I played it at PTQ at Pastimes, and
Mm-hmm.
the very first game I played, it was. Oh man, I made someone so mad. I think I went turn. I think I
Turn
was
2
on the,
Pyroclasm, turn 3 Karn.
I was on the play. I think I went turn 3 Karn, eat your land. I forgot what I was playing against. It didn't matter. Turn 4, tick down Karn, play another Karn because I ate 2 more lands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Gurmag Angler is the truth. I'm a huge fan of Gurmag Angler, but
Yeah.
I think the demise of Tron is greatly exaggerated.
Yeah, David Gleischer's been doing it very well with it. Every tournament I've seen him play it.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think
I'm not sure.
I've spoken to him at great length about it, and he is very convinced that so the big reason to not play it is like Twin,
Yeah,
and he is very convinced that post board the Twin matchup is completely acceptable.
yeah. He thinks that he's figured it out.
Yeah, he's a good configuration for that.
So what does he do exactly? Has he told you? He hasn't told me.
A lot of spell skites.
Spellskite.
It's like spell skites and rending volleys, and you just like Emrakul them eventually. and nature's claims.
I guess you just have to stop the combo, and then you have more inevitability than they do.
He says the combo is irrelevant. Mostly the games come down to them killing you with Snapcaster Mage, so you
Okay.
like Relic is your best card.
Sure.
And that I believe that.
So you leave in Pyroclasm because you just don't want to get beat down.
Maybe. I think you just like.
Or maybe not.
I think
Maybe
you just
you
want
just
to. I think you just
Oastone
don't
them.
want to get. I mean,
Yeah.
Ostone's alright. I think you just don't want to die from Snap Bolts
Sure.
a bunch of times, and then eventually you'll just cast Emrakul. For those wanting to play Cruel Ultimatum, I would not recommend it. Cruel Ultimatum, not very good. Getting that card remanded is a beating. Oh my goodness.
That sounds good for the person playing Remand.
Correct.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I do. For those saying playing Tombstalker over Gurmag Angler, I would not recommend that though.
Why?
Single black mana is so much better. I don't really want to like a lot of these decks that are playing Gurmag Angler are playing like they're like a Grixis deck, right?
Yeah.
You don't really want to play like you don't want to have like multiple water graves in play. or
Yeah,
something
you
like
probably only have like 3 or 4 black sources in the whole deck.
that. Are you guys starting soon?
Huh?
Are you guys starting the next round?
I don't know.
What's your record?
I have
Oh,
I
two.
think I should have gone to sleep this round. This night instead of playing Legacy. So I won it 2 rounds in a row.
Good job.
Pretty
Da-
nice.
David
I forgot
Glo-
about Release Dance again. I just can't remember that card is in my sideboard.
Well,
David Gleischer, everyone.
Also, Trickbind doesn't draw a card. Which
Wow.
I thought it did.
You thought it was Squelch?
I thought it was split second squelch, yeah.
Why don't you just play Squelch?
I should.
But
Draw
then,
a card.
Then you can't stop triggered abilities. Have you ever countered it? Then you can't actually. That's like the main reason you're playing that, isn't it?
Oh, it's only activated abilities?
Yes.
Oh
Not
no.
Spells does either.
So as I was talking very highly of David Gleischer and his modern acumen, he does not know how legacy cards work.
Trick Bind is like barely a legacy card. So is
Barely a legacy
so is
card?
Release the Ants. Let's be fair here.
Legacy staple, release the ants.
I know how Brainstorm works.
That's true.
Birthing
It's a
pod.
legacy card. Birthing pod, yeah.
Yeah, best legacy card. Birthing pod. Can you play that deck again? No,
Yeah.
too much show and tell.
I might go back to it.
You got Minister of Pain. Would you play that?
I
Minister.
definitely would play it. It's very good.
See?
My goodness.
It's exactly what I wanted for the deck.
Oh yeah, because you wanted Zealous Persecution.
Yeah, like a year ago, a year
Yeah.
and a half ago. That's exactly what I wanted.
Because you didn't want to
And then
splash white,
They finally printed it, but in the meantime, they made a bunch of other things
like Dig Through Time.
like Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise, and Payment Priest, and all sorts of things that are just horrible.
Yeah, you could beat all. You could beat. I mean, they banned one of those cards, and you can probably beat the other card. Honestly,
Yeah.
Payment Priest?
no,
Oh.
the other one.
Dig Through Time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you can very easily outvalue a Dig Through Time.
You can outvalue a Dig Through Time, but more of the problem is like the decks that it's good in are pretty good
Yeah.
against like show and tell specific.
For everyone who's not sure, we're talking about Birthing Pod and Legacy,
No, we're talking about Nick Fit Pod.
with which David Gleischer top-aided an Open
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Yeah.
I top,
In
I top
Milwaukee?
16 one or two
Yeah.
since then.
Basically the only champion of this deck for a while.
Maybe Europe. Maybe there's some Europeans who are all about Nick
There was a
Fit.
European at the last GP in Europe that got 10th
Ooh.
with the deck.
Shit.
I don't think that's going to happen in Lily. The next.
No, I don't
I'm pretty
think
sure there's
so.
going to be. I think the top eight's going to be like 5 Miracles decks or something ridiculous like that.
Probably.
When is
They
it?
love Miracles.
When is the GP?
It's
It's soon, right?
like a month or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's gonna be just like the Japanese GP.
Yeah, more or less. A lot of show and tell.
Fleischer playing.
Oh man, the O2
Right
matchup.
there.
All right, I'm gonna go out there and see what we got.
Well, that's an enjoyable O2 round.
Or do you want to go?
No, you got it.
All right.
Probably just put the 2 O's on, right?
Let's find out who's true.
Yeah. Someone mentioned in the chat that they were trying to get people to play Birthing Pod without Birthing Pod and Charlotte. Feingersh commented on that. Are you referring to like the Collected Company deck? Because it got like a version got first place this weekend at the SCG and the one of the Sunday tournaments. It seemed like an okay starting point. All the lists I've seen they all seem so different that it doesn't seem like there's any sort of consensus of like how exactly to build it. Like so many of the variants have had like Flicker Wisp in the deck, but the guy who won this past weekend had like 3 Tarmogoyf. And I don't know why you'd ever play 3 and not 4 exactly, but I mean I'm no expert. Also, that person played 4 of the new Anafenza, so pretty interesting. Steve Speck asks for tribal walls on camera. I don't know if we have that in the house, but if we do, and if they're 2-0, I'm sure that Phil will try to make that happen.
Running back Goblin Welder.
Okay.
Thalia versus Goblin Welder.
Oh, lovely. Oh, is it Ned?
Yeah.
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 So it's Nathan versus Ned. Are these players 1-1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
Who are the 2-0s? Just so we know.
I believe. So Alex, I don't know because of the draws.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think Kevin is 2-0.
Kevin Kingsley?
No, Kevin Huang.
Oh, okay. Right.
And he's playing against someone who I don't know.
Okay.
Let's hop down there. Yeah,
Yeah.
our matchup is going to be Death and Taxes versus Painter.
I do think this matchup is favorable for Death and Taxes.
This is the Phyrexian Revoker mirror, correct?
Yes, and the Phyrexian Revokers out of Death and Taxes are way better than Nathan's. Nathan is on the right playing, I think, Red-White Painter, or is it Mono-Red Painter?
I believe it's red-white.
Okay.
Actually, I think it's mono-red.
Yeah? Okay. Usually, if there is a white splash, it's very light, and it's for, like, Enlightened Tutor.
What do they call it? Strawberry Shortcake?
Yeah.
It's pretty adorable. It's like Enlightened Tutor and then, like, powerful sideboard cards like Ethersworn Canonist and Rest in Peace.
So Ned is 1-1, so he got a win. Good job, Ned. Ned is borrowing my cards
Yes.
tonight. I'm glad that I brought the deck. Because then he would have had to play stupid elves.
Yeah, elves are pretty stupid.
A deck I do really like. This looks like a keep for Ned. It looks like 2 Revokers, Mother of Runes, Thalia, Plains, and 2 Wastelands.
Seems completely reasonable.
It seems like a fantastic hand in this matchup.
All right, starting things off. Plains, Mother of Runes. Doesn't get better.
Does not. Really doesn't.
How do you feel about Mountain Grindstone?
I would like to probably Revoker that.
All right, I'm gonna see if Ned attacks with this mom.
Yeah, I really hope he doesn't.
All right, so yep.
And it looks like he's going right after the Grindstone with the Revoker. Also, the mom survived, which
Good.
is huge.
Yeah, so now he's protected from. I mean, the only way Nathan has to kill this is to
Like multiple Red Blasts.
that or his own Revokers.
Uh-huh.
I think he's actually probably going to Revoker at this turn.
Revoker Mother of Runes.
Or not? No, he's just gonna pass.
And it seems like a good time to resolve Thalia.
Yeah, Thalia seems great here.
He also drew Spear of the Labyrinth. Definitely not the matchup for that card. But what can you do?
Spirit of the Labyrinth. Yeah, I can't imagine it's exactly where you want to be.
Ned attacking for 2 here. I imagine he'll lay Thalia.
He's got Wasteland, which may or may not have text. Thalia's in there.
This seems like a pretty good setup for Ned.
There's a Duretti, a Pyroblast, and it looks like 1,000 mana.
Yeah, that's a lot of Ancient Tombs.
So many.
What
Ancient
what does Duretti do? Can we pull that up?
Yeah, we can.
I really don't know what that card does.
Neither do I.
I think I read it once and I just didn't internalize it at all. It is going to be hard to cast. I suppose Nathan does have access to 5 mana next turn with Ancient Tomb. Ned tapping some mana after attacking for 4. Playing Spear of the Labyrinth.
That is actually going to turn off Duretti. It's going to turn off Duretti sort of doing anything at least.
Yeah. There's not many cards in the deck that Spear of the Labyrinth affects here. Did he draw another Ancient Tomb?
No, he drew a mountain.
Oh, okay.
He drew something equally as useless.
This is how Death and Taxes wins, Phil.
Your opponent just draws 5 lands. I mean, that's how I prefer to win, is my opponents just draw 5 lands, make it easy for me.
Yeah.
We'll see what's going to go on here.
David L. Byer, I think I would recommend anyone trying Miracles.
Yeah.
I think the deck is awesome. It's very good. It really rewards playing the deck a lot and getting familiar with it. So if you're looking for a legacy deck to like grow with, Miracles is a fantastic choice.
Let's see what... I think Nathan might just plus this and then not do anything. Like, just discard 2 cards... Not discard no cards. Yeah, he's going to plus for 0.
Sure.
Like, this is so brutal, the Spirit of the Labyrinth, because he has so many Ancient Tombs in this card. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that was a good Spirit of the Labyrinth.
I wonder if Ned is going to decide to actually just kill it off. I think he has another Spirit of the Labyrinth in his...
He's probably going to
Yeah.
wasteland the City of Traders just because.
Yeah, they're not doing much else.
Yeah. He has more lands in hand, I think.
Yeah.
He's probably going to kill the Duretti just because you might as well.
It's kind of tempting to just ignore it.
Maybe. Maybe he actually is.
I think he did.
Yeah, it seems like he did. So he hit Nathan for 7? Nope.
Oh,
It looks
no.
like he did attack Duretti.
Nope.
No? Okay. He attacked for 7. Nathan down to 5.
Just making a 2-turn clock.
Game is over. He
Draws
just drew all
another
their
City of
lands.
Traders. What a
I
horrific
think
draw.
Ned knows that he got a freebie there.
Oh, absolutely. Those were just, like, comically bad draws from Nathan. I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, that draw from Ned was pretty good for the matchup.
Yeah.
Like, I think even with a good draw, Nathan was going to be kind of hard-pressed.
I agree.
Being mono-red is good in this matchup for Nathan, though.
Yeah, just not having random dual lands to randomly expose yourself to Wasteland is good.
Yeah, just to, like, make Thalia worse, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Cards that I think Ned can be boarding in here. So there are 4 Ethersworn Canonists in the sideboard. Not for this matchup, though.
Or Canonists.
4 Canonists. Cards that I do think are good here. Council's Judgment,
Council's
I think,
Judgment
comes
seems
in. He could bring Enlightened Tutor in if he's really desperate to find Revoker. I think that's the wrong way to go about the matchup, though.
Do you have any other disenchants besides Council's Judgment?
No, there are 2 main deck Mangaras that are also quite great here.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of ways to stop something like Ensnaring Bridge.
Yeah, I mean, So there are actually a lot of ways to stop it, because you can Flicker Wisp it out.
Yep.
Like, you have a lot of ways to interact with permanent base disruption, which is basically what Nathan's presenting.
I wonder if Nathan's playing. So the way I played against this before, actually, with he does have him. I played Painter versus Death and Taxes.
Yeah.
And it's pretty great when the Painter deck has a million Firebolts in the sideboard.
Makes sense.
I know Nathan has 2. I think the version I played had 4, which was delightful. I think I cast I cast the card Firebolt like 5 times.
Sounds great.
Between like casting and flashing back.
Looks like Ned's pulled Pithing Needle out, which is also great here.
See ya, Cook. Thanks for tuning in.
Have a good one. So he looks like he's brought in. Is that Rest in Peace? Okay, I guess that turns off Welder.
Yeah.
I would definitely take out Spear of the Labyrinth. It looks like he also took out Anafenza, which
are
is completely.
Are you playing one Anafenza?
I'm trying one. I feel like I've sabotaged Ned's chances by putting it in the deck.
I mean, look, Ned's got to just work through this. I mean, so I will say for those watching at home, this is the 3rd match Ned has ever played with the deck.
Yes.
So he is still learning all the interactions here. I mean, most of it is just, playing idiot creatures and attacking your opponent.
Yeah.
And being really annoying and wastelanding them and porting them a bunch of times.
I mean, Phyrexian Revoker is a skill card. You just have to know what cards are in your opponent's deck.
It's a little easier when they play something with an activated ability that kills you on turn 1.
It's slightly easier.
They go turn 1 Grindstone. You're like, oh, there.
Yep.
That one right there. Get it out.
Cards to be afraid against for Ned. Jaya Ballard is a complete beating.
Jaya Ballard. It's especially a beating if you get to the ultimate.
Yes. That would be good.
Inferno.
The thing that's good for Ned, though, is just a lot of his cards interact. Swords to Plowshares is really good against Painter.
Yeah.
Because it also exiles the creature, so it can't be Goblin Weldered back later on.
I'm going to pull up our good friend.
Absolutely. This
Jaya
is
Ballard.
this is definitely one of the best cards that Nathan can find. And usually Painter plays Imperial Recruiter, so he can go find Jaya Ballard.
Yeah.
Which is a one-of.
The title of the deck traditionally is Imperial Painter.
Right.
The mono red version as a way, playing redundant copies of your combo.
Blood Moon's also functional here.
Yeah, I would be surprised. I wonder how many Nathan's going to leave in. I mean, this is a deck that plays 4 Blood Moon and then usually a couple copies of Magus of the Moon.
Yep.
So I'd be interested to know how many of them Nathan has kept in. Looks like there's a Blood Moon in his opener. He's got a turn 2.
Looks like Ned's hand is 5 lands.
Actually, he's got a turn 1.
Okay. I think Ned's sending that one back. He has a turn 1 kill?
No, he has a turn 1 Blood Moon.
Oh.
Which...
So that hand for Ned would have been okay.
It was 4 planes and a Crocus. Yeah.
I think the Cavern was in there.
Oh my goodness. I love... There are always multiple decks vying for the title at any given time, but Death and Taxes I think is number 1 right now as worst mana base for a monocolored deck.
Yep. It's not particularly close at the moment.
Elves is pretty bad. I've seen my fair share of Dryad Arbor Gaia's Cradle openers where you just have to ponder all the things that can go wrong with you. When your opponent keeps
a lot of things.
When your opponent keeps 7 and you have Arbor Cradle, you know what's going to happen. Anything beats you there.
Lightning Bolt.
Lightning Bolt, Wasteland, Disfigure.
Swords to Plowshares.
Just so many things.
Lots of things.
But yeah, I mean, Elves, just drawing multiple Gaia's Cradle. Like you get your Bayou Wastelander or something, and then you just draw Gaia's Cradles for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
It was Merfolk for a while.
Looks like Ned's drawn a better hand. I didn't see a Plains in there.
I did not either.
Oh boy.
Well, here's Blood Moon. Your turn.
Yeah. Time to draw an Aether Vial.
Yeah, Aether Vial, easily the best draw. Yes, Jaya Ballard's ultimate does kill herself.
Alright, well he drew Revoker. You can play that.
A castable card.
A castable card.
Minecraft House Lover. Thank you for following.
Looks like basic mountain for Nathan. And a very quick Grindstone. I think Ned's probably going to have to just jam the Revoker to hopefully not die. Nathan not taking damage because his Ancient Tomb is a mountain.
And Ned playing Revoker.
Yep.
Yep.
That's a Flagstones of Trocaire in play.
Great. That's what you get for playing that over Basic Plains.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
There is a cost.
Ugh. Second Grindstone and no third land. I see at least... So I think Nathan's hand is Pyroblast and Snaring Bridge and that Duretti coming up again.
That's not a basic. That's an attack for 2.
Here come the Goblin Pikers.
Sounds great.
Hey, Caracas. I think he has a second copy of Caracas in his hand as well. Oh, and here's Ensnaring Bridge. It's not actually going to do anything here, although I believe Nathan can just Pyroblast anything in order to turn it on.
Yep.
Another Rishadan Port. Oh, you can attack.
Yeah.
Nathan's got 2 cards, so that's the nice part. All the creatures in Death and Taxes are just so terrible
Yep.
that it doesn't make a difference. Oh, there's
Pretty
a
much.
Firebolt.
Firebolt's really good here.
I think you just kill this Revoker.
You absolutely do.
Get it out of there. Firebolt's just also a great draw. I mean, now at this point, any land Nathan draw are pretty excellent. Oh, mono uncastables going on here.
Yeah, so, all right, there are 9 planes.
There
Also,
we go.
that's game.
Well, it's game of Basic Plains.
Nope, that was Mirror Crusader.
Here we go. And we're going to see an activation. I disagree with Guy who shouldn't have Blood Moon in. I think Blood Moon is actually completely reasonable.
Yeah.
Like, Death and Taxes does play 9 planes.
Yeah, it's usually 9.
Um,
It's anywhere between 9 and 11 commonly.
Yeah.
It varies based on the number of flagstones of Trocare that you play.
Yeah. Base Lana, if you're talking about that Grixis deck, I think Go for the Throat is quite a bit better than Doomblade. I think being able to kill Siege Rhino and Tassiger
Yep.
are way too important.
To a lesser extent, I guess Dark Confidant. It doesn't come up that much anymore, I guess.
That card gets bolted real badly. I've had a lot of discussion about how Blood Moon fits into this matchup, and I think it's like a completely reasonable card in some number. I don't think you leave in all 4.
I think leaving in the non, like actual Blood Moon.
Yeah, and not Magus.
Yeah, maybe 1 Magus. Like, you're not usually going to be recruiting for it.
I would be surprised if you ever recruiter for it over something like Jay Ballard.
Exactly. Or just
or
Painter
Painter.
Servant.
Yeah. But I think in like a small number, like something like 2 Blood Moons is like just fine because
Yep.
I mean you just have non-games like that.
Right.
Because Death and Taxes is an incredibly greedy mana base.
Yeah, just draw Aether Vial.
Yeah, I mean look, sometimes you do draw Aether Vial. I don't like.
The win percentage for the deck, if you draw Aether Vial in your opener, it has to be like 20% higher. The
Shockingly
games where you
different.
draw it.
Yeah.
I love going second and drawing it for your first turn. I love that shit.
Does it make up for all the times when you draw it on turn 6?
Drawing it on turn 2 is really frustrating. Turn 6 is okay.
Why?
Because, like, alright, if the game's under control, it makes drawing Flicker Wisp on turn 9 amazing.
I guess it is a deck that,
You're going long.
yeah, it's for, like you can beat them down randomly, but usually you're just like beating them so easily at that point that it doesn't matter. But you like for the most part you're very prepared to go long because
Yeah.
you have all these relevant white weenie creatures.
You have Rishan Port, you have Thalia.
Yeah. All right, we'll hop down to the actual play area here. See what they got for the openers. Let's see, Revoker, 3 Painter Servants.
Ned's hand is the nuts. Ned's hand is so good.
Nathan's hand's pretty good here, but maybe not.
So Ned's hand is Plains, Cavern of Souls, Aether Vial, Thalia, Pithing Needle, maybe Mother of Runes
Pretty
is
great.
really good.
Nathan's hand I thought was reasonable.
Stoneforge, sorry.
Okay, that seems very
Flicker
good.
Wisp. He doesn't have Mother of Runes.
You've
That's
named.
the only
I
thing.
think you've named more.
He
than
doesn't
7
have Mother
cards.
of Runes.
Okay.
I made that up.
Na-
He'll probably draw it.
Nathan's hand. Okay, so he shipped back a hand that was triple Painter Servant,
Uh-huh.
Mountain, Scalding Tarn, Revoker, Imperial Recruiter, and I feel like that's a reasonable hand.
It is.
This hand doesn't look as good.
It's a quick Blood Moon hand.
It's a turn 2 Blood Moon with
He's going
nothing
to 5.
else.
Yeah.
I think that's I think that's a hand I would.
This is the downside to Blood Moon in the matchup.
Yeah, I mean drawing multiples is horrific.
Obviously, it basically single-handedly beat Ned's last hand.
Yeah, it's high,
Against this hand, does nothing.
it's high variance.
Yeah.
It's a super high variance card. And that's why I think I was a little surprised that Nathan drew back that first hand, just because I mean you had spells you could cast.
Yeah.
Like multiple painters is not great in general, but and not having an answer, not having something like a firebolt's not ideal. Maybe he just like wanted any hand with a firebolt.
Yeah. I
Like-
think he only has like one firebolt.
Any 5 with a firebolt is ideal.
Sure.
Let's see what he's got.
Looks like a keep.
Mountain.
2 lands. That last card's a Bloodstained Mire, I think.
Yeah, or I don't think it's Duretti. All right, so turn 1, Plains Aether Vial, the
Yep.
ideal start.
It's really good, man.
All right, here's the hardest thing. Okay, there we go. I was saying,
Yep.
new
Ned's
players.
gonna remember.
No, it's a cough of the hammer.
Ned also has the turn 2
does.
Pithing Needle, so he can avoid losing to so he draws Phyrexian Revoker.
Yeah, this draw is incredible.
Yeah, this is just stone cold nuts. You probably just play Thalia this turn. You just hard cast it.
Yeah,
Yeah, looks like
I
that's
think
what he's doing.
I think you want to go for the most restrictive possible thing here.
Yeah,
Um,
especially on a mold of 5.
Yeah. Also, I think waiting on Revoker is completely reasonable.
Totally. Especially if there's something like Jaya Ballard, like something that could like completely blow you out. Because
Yeah.
one thing Ned doesn't have is Swords to Plowshares.
Yes, absolutely. Or just like lightning bolt.
All right, we're
Ooh,
There's
firebolt
the
in there.
firebolt.
That's a great start for Nathan. That's
It's
really what
alright.
he needs. I mean, he needs that, or else he's literally just gonna die.
yeah. Ned does have Stoneforge and Revoker this turn.
Quite a bit of guess. I figure you play one of these.
You just cast the Stoneforge.
You think
and
so?
You hold the Revoker to put in, I believe.
So why that way?
Because you can see what Nathan does with his turn.
Okay, and then decide what you want to Revoker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you getting? What sort of Fire and Ice or
I
GTA?
would go for probably Sword of Fire and Ice. Although he only has 2 lands, which kind of makes Batterskull sound better.
I think GTA is also completely reasonable.
It's okay.
Honestly,
yeah, being able to kill the creatures, I suppose, is pretty good.
I think yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, this means that Nathan, now everything that Ned plays is like a must kill,
Yeah.
and there just isn't enough removal in this deck to deal with that.
So BSF is saying Sophie is bad against Painter. Oh yeah, it is because they they make everything blue. So
It just falls off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I didn't actually realize that interaction the first time. I had never played against Painter. This was like right when I picked up Death and Taxes, and no one played Painter at our local store like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And the first time I played against it was like round 5 of the Open in Milwaukee, and I actually lost to Painter because I drew pretty poorly in game 3, but also I just did not realize the thing with the Sophie.
Yeah, that's a subtle interaction. I completely ignored that. So we see an attack for 2 from Ned. He did vial in and step this Revoker, and I believe he has named Grindstone with it. He hasn't rewritten on that sheet of paper.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, on this board, there's nothing else you could reasonably
Yeah.
call. It looks like he has another Stoneforge to vial in here. Probably going to get Batterskull. Oh, it looks like he forgot to activate end of turn there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
It's not a huge deal. I mean, he's still pretty far ahead here, and I think this.
He is.
I mean, this GTA is going to do a lot of work. Nathan's hand is just mono 3-drops.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to go to work here with the Jit.
Yeah, just put it on the Stoneforge. Attack for 3.
Another option he could have had that turn if he wanted to take a wait to equip, which is probably wrong, but he could have vialed in the other Stoneforge and just put in Batterskull with the one that doesn't have Summoning Sickness.
On end step.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that's a fine play.
Looks like he's Pithing Needle, also hitting Grindstone. This is, I think, Ned's too far ahead for Nathan to reasonably catch up.
Yeah, Nathan needs to draw like a lot, like lands and firebolts intermittently for him to do anything. I just don't think that's a reasonable proposition.
Yeah, I mean, the equipment's really good in this matchup, and yeah, I mean, Ned just going for Sword Fire and Ice just because Nathan doesn't have any of his pieces in place to stop it,
Yeah,
really.
as well as Ned also has these Swords to Plowshares in his hand.
Sure.
So if Painter were to come down, he would be able to deal with it.
He already has 2 insurances against the combo as well.
3 really. He has like 4 different ways to interrupt the combo. So this is really the squeeze that Death and Taxes tends to present to these combo.
I mean,
decks.
obviously Nathan was on a mold of 5 here, but I think this draw out of Ned could have beat a very good hand from Nathan too.
Yeah, this is a really, really robust draw. Like he's fighting. As we said, he's coming from a lot of different angles here.
Yeah, and we're seeing. I mean, so Ned. One thing that Ned's draw doesn't have is you really want to hit your first 4 land drops with the deck a lot of the time, but like when you draw Aether Vial, the imperfections of your draw can be easily ignored.
Yeah.
Because it's just
really
like
matter.
plus 8 mana over like 5 turns, you know?
It's pretty insane. I don't think there's really a series of things that Nathan can draw to get him out of this spot.
It seems unlikely.
I'm trying to think.
Anything's just gonna die immediately to the Jitte.
Swamp Virtue's Ruin.
It wouldn't even be perfect because
It wouldn't kill the Revoker?
Would not kill Revoker, which could just pick up everything.
So we see a Firebolt on the Revoker. I mean, that's basically where Ned is, where Nathan is right now. That's the creature that's stopping him from comboing the most, but I think this is just going to be lethal.
He chose to not even Flicker Wisp to save it.
Let's see.
He's
1,
saving...
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is just lethal.
I like not Flicker Wisping there, because say this wasn't lethal, holding Flicker Wisp for Ensnaring Bridge is really nice.
Yeah.
Also, Jit is a good way to get around Snaring Bridge, because you can put it on a 1-power creature and then pump it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Another good way to get around Ensnaring Bridge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Looks like
Ned not going for the kill. Nope. Yeah, drawing a card.
This is called playing with your food.
Yep. This is the fun part. Actually, it's
Is
not
it?
that fun. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, Nathan drawing the land several turns too late here.
These players well familiar with each other.
Mm-hmm.
These are two of our regulars. We're all pretty close friends. We all like to joke around.
And this is about as bad as it gets. Like, he's even 1 mana off from being able to knock off the Jit with the Painter. Even then, Ned could just, swords it re-equip.
Or Flicker Wisp to save it.
A million things.
Yeah.
Well, you can't really save the sword from falling off.
Ned looks so miserable winning with this deck. He's just like, why aren't these targets Deathrite Shaman and Tarmogoyf?
I mean, he's just used to casting Hymn to Torak.
He's very used to
It's
it.
a different kind of miserable. You put someone through the grinder in some other fashion,
Yeah.
But yeah, this is... Yeah, Ensnaring Bridge wouldn't do anything here.
Nope.
Nathan can forcefully put himself to 1 with this Ancient Tomb. I think that's what he will do. He can cast a Cough of the Hammer,
He could.
which is unexciting.
Pretty unexciting.
Ned could kill a mountain.
He could... You get to, like, untap a mountain and... I don't know.
Yeah.
Not much. Yeah. Nathan just... Nathan...
Packing it in.
Yeah. He knows what's up.
Argus, the reason Pyroblast is still in the deck is because even against non-blue decks, you need to leave. You tend to leave some number in for the combination of just having Painter out.
Yeah. It's obviously not ideal. It's not as good as against matchups with, actual blue cards, so you don't need Painter in play. But I don't think Nathan has enough cards to bring in
No,
to actually take out all the red blasts.
I'm actually not a big fan of Koth in this kind of matchup. I think the ground gets really clogged.
Yeah.
Unless you're boarding in like actual 4 Firebolts, and you don't really want to like win in a fair way. It's like hard to win through the combo.
Yeah.
If you're not packing all those Firebolts, but I think I think I want Koth for something more like it's like the best card against miracles.
Maybe he just wants to like very quickly ultimate Koth.
That's actually not unreasonable. Like ultimating Koth, like if you can cast an early Koth, he does have like 3 Firebolts.
Yeah, if you just like turn 2 Koth, and
which you can,
and if Death and Taxes doesn't have an early creature to establish,
or like an early Revoker.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just like if you're able to ultimate Koth, then it seems actually impossible to win if you're playing Death and Taxes.
It's quite tough.
You need like a lot of vials.
You need them to not have 4 mountains and get Batterskull into play.
Well, that is a because that means you have to get a Batterskull in play, which means you need to tap 5 lands.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you're getting it into play with Stoneforge Mystic if Koth is going all.
So yeah, it looks like that's what Nathan was going for. Ensnaring Bridge plus Koth.
That's interesting.
Also, he has 3 Firebolt. That's
Yeah.
way more than I thought he had.
Yeah, Firebolt. I mean, Firebolt is great. Yeah, it looks like he cut his Maguses and left in the Blood Moons.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think Magus is just a little too fragile. I don't think he has that many like cards that are specifically dedicated to this matchup outside of Firebolt.
Nope.
Like Firebolt is extremely powerful, but I see a Vexing Shusher as the front card there. Like Vexing Shusher has literal no text here.
Well, it trades with a Revoker.
Yes, it does trade with Phyrexian.
I don't think he actually brought that in, right?
No,
Yeah.
he did not. He did not bring in Grizzly Bear.
Yeah.
All right, that will be the end of this match. Should we go see if there's another match?
Absolutely. You want me to go or you?
Yeah, you go.
Okay. I think my leg is asleep. I'll try not to fall over.
Great.
some recent followers, Hunter Wren and Minecraft House Lover. Thank you very much for following.
And we'll see what other decks we have that are currently playing. I don't think we have any Storm today. I don't think we have lands either, which I'm not upset about. See, I've watched. Being in the commentator's chair in this area means that I get to see quite a bit of lands. Now, there's no Pox tonight. There's no Dredge tonight. I know we have like 2 people who actually play Dredge, and one of them has actually been playing Storm a lot instead, but he is not here tonight. We do not have Uba Mask, unfortunately. I think we just have like a lot of fair decks, a lot of blue decks tonight. Nothing, not too much along the lines of combo outside of this sort of painter deck. And like Kyle's like mid-range, Kyle's like Grixis deck. I don't think there's Pox or Maverick. Are you playing Nick Fit?
I'm not playing Legacy tonight.
You're not. You're not playing.
No, because they had an even number.
Oh, okay, cool.
They had an even number. We played a little 93, 94.
A little old school.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
That's sweet.
And there was some Legacy. There was some vintage going on.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
I haven't played Vintage in a while. I haven't. I was messing around with Doomsday for a bit. That deck's super fun.
Yeah.
Uh,
Trying to think. So yeah, there was like a Mentor Remora deck, and there was like I think it was an Oath deck, and there's a couple different decks, but
nice.
yeah.
We do not have any 12 post or Mud. There's really only one Mud player.
Rich plays Mud.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we have two. Yeah, Rich plays Mud, and then Mark, of course, does. But Mark has, Mark doesn't really have time to play.
Yeah. Rich was off it last week though. He played some blue deck last week.
He played Chotel. He played
did he?
he played Omnitel last week. Yeah, because I did the
Yeah.
I commented on his match.
Yeah. I have most of the pieces of Mud. I could bring it in and play it if people wanted it.
Of Mud?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't. People love watching Mud. Mud is is such a goofy deck. I mean, I know Nathan has it as well.
Oh yeah.
And he's played it here before. He had some crazy. We watched a few crazy games of that deck where it just played like 5 permanents on turn 1. It was like a lot like Affinity in Modern, which was pretty surprising, honestly. Yeah, we don't have anyone here tonight. The Norin Sisters guy end up last night. I have no idea.
Oh,
Is it Martin?
Yeah, Martin, the physicist. Yeah.
How'd he end up doing?
He was on camera for a second. I don't know what he did. I could ask him though.
That's interesting. Is he UFC?
Yeah, he's in the
Yeah.
physics department. He does like experimental physics.
Yeah, he's PhD, right?
He's
He's
working on his PhD. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, he's interested in like dynamics.
He's
of,
like he's like particle physics, isn't he?
No, he does
No?
like fluids, like dynamics of fluids. and
Oh
stuff.
wow. Okay, yeah. I don't.
Martin, the guy
Martin
who
Schiller?
he plays like funky decks. He plays like he was playing eggs for a while, and then he was playing.
Yeah, he was playing like Open the Vault's like KCI Open the Vault's eggs.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, the
It
new
was.
guy.
It
But
was.
he's been having a good time with that deck. So who knows? I don't know what he did last night. But.
I know he lost. I think he lost on camera. I don't know. I like went back and watched a little bit last night. I obviously didn't play.
Ooh.
Um,
Did anyone see how Norin Sisters did?
That's what we're talking
Oh,
about.
sorry.
Because he was playing the Nord deck.
That's sweet.
Martin, yeah.
The deck's sweet. Yeah, it's like Genesis Chambers, Norn the Wary, and then like a bunch of the Soul Sisters package.
Yeah.
I actually think a lot and then people add like Bolts and stuff like that. I think Bolt's not good in that deck at all.
I think what's good about that deck is that the first time you play against it, you actually don't know what the threat is. You're like, how do I kill Norn? And it's like
You can't. You actually
don't
can't.
kill Norin.
Well,
there's no way to do it.
Yeah.
So you're like,
there are a very limited number of ways. The main ways, like I've seen people kill it with engineered explosives and seismic assault, Grim Lavamancer.
Sure.
Those are like ways you can kill it. That's it.
I mean,
Don't really have any good ways to deal with
You
it.
can put a spell on the stack and then kill it.
No. Oh, not with
just
another
triggers
spell.
again,
It'll just trigger
right?
again.
Yeah.
It's like standstill. You can't like. It's like trying to stifle a standstill.
Yeah.
It will work out
Does
poorly
not
for you. Yeah, Mog Fanatic. Ooh.
Sure.
That's a nice one.
Fanatic.
Taste it.
Also,
Taste that Fanatic.
It's
yeah,
better when damage is on the stack.
Well, yeah.
quite a bit.
So is Sakura Tribuilder.
Frostling kills it.
Frost. Get out. Frostling.
That was good and limited.
I have no time for that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you stifle standstill, but you need to stifle it again just in case it goes off. It's the best way to fight against it.
Sounds great.
I've definitely seen I've definitely seen people try and stifle it.
It doesn't really seem like that's the creature you want to be like fighting to kill
Norrin
in the deck.
in that deck.
You want to kill like a Johnny's Bridemaid or Champion of the Parish, right?
You kill. It's like Champion of the Parish and the Soul Wardens. The Soul
Yeah.
Wardens are super annoying. So I actually have. That's the only deck I have built on Moto and Modern is Soul Sisters, Mono White Soul
I
Sisters.
really can't imagine you playing white creature.
It is weird. But I still have the deck available on Magic Online, and I've been playing it in the tournament practice room a bunch.
Yeah.
And no one likes playing against it.
With Norrin or without?
No, just Mono White. It's
So
the old-
Sarah Ascendant.
Oh yeah. I
Martyr.
should have taken a screenshot earlier of my opponent had out Anafenza and Malira, and I had 3/6/6 Sarah Ascendants.
Okay. Fair fight.
Oh, Bait Slayer Angel. No, wait, maybe. I might have, yeah, so someone suggested that I get my Sarah Ascendant signed to say 1 pro point on each of them.
Because you cast a GP?
Like twice.
Oh my god. So you're like the best current Soul Sisters player.
There was a dude in Germany who got second in a Grand Prix with it once.
Second. Wow.
I lost in the finals to Antonino De Rosa.
He's a good player.
Yep. He was playing Rug Delver at the time. Or just like Rug Delver like Shackles.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, I think I might have 100% of my lifetime pro points from Soul Wardens.
How many lifetime pro points do you have? 2?
No, at least 4. I top 32 2 Grand Prix with that deck.
So all of
2 Grand
your
Prix.
all of your GP caches are modern?
No. No, I don't think I've gotten pro points from my other GP caches. I min-cached Chicago, the standard one, with Mono Blue Devotion.
Nicely done.
Yeah, but I
I
got
played
the,
that deck too.
yeah.
I
it was
got
good.
crushed.
I ate one day 1, and then I did terribly on day 2.
Sounds great.
3-3'd, I think. I lost to Mono Red Aggro with my Master of Waves deck.
Yeah.
It was very bad.
happen.
I'm trying to think of what I don't think I've. Oh my god! I think all my pro points have been from Soul Warden.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Phil, you have to live with this.
Well, hopefully I get some pro points from playing limited this weekend, because that's embarrassing.
What rare or if you had to pick your colors, what would you want to be this weekend?
What, in sealed?
Yeah.
Like
What do you like to play in this format? What colors do you like? Like what type of deck do you enjoy?
I like any deck that has. I like green decks a lot.
Okay.
I'm a really big fan of the green defensive creatures.
Like Glade Watcher?
I love Glade Watcher.
Yeah, the card's pretty great.
I like Glade Watcher. I like all the formidable guys. I think are excellent in sealed.
Sure.
Like Glade Watcher, Atarka Beastbreaker, Dragon Scarred Bear in
The
particular.
bear is really good. Regenerate is
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Like I really like green. Just as it's just like the best way to come up the ground, and then also you could just break through because Formidable is so good at that. Like all the
Yeah.
green Formidable guys are just amazing. Like Stampeding Elkherd, and then, like the red ones like Saber-Tooth Outrider is great. Although that's like a bit more offensive than I like being.
Yeah.
It still attacks very well, but the
does.
green Formidable guys are just excellent on defense and offense, which is
Yeah.
what impresses me. Beyond that, I just want answers to rares,
Yep.
and that's what green. I mean, that's why like Return to the Earth is just amazing.
Yeah.
It kills mythic dragons and uncommon dragons and rare dragons and Citadel Siege
Yep.
and Master of the Unseen.
So you
The
would
perfect card.
you would never main deck more than one, right?
I would definitely consider main decking 2.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think that's crazy. I main decked 2 Disenchants. I main decked Enoch Survivalist and Return to the Earth in the last.
Survivalist
green
is
seal deck?
just like a
That's a
fucking
morph.
creature,
It's a
yeah.
morph. That's great. Although there are a lot more 2/3s in this format than there were in cons. Like
Yeah.
3 mana 2/3s.
Interesting for you, to hear you want to play green.
I like. What do you mean?
I don't know.
I love elves.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a blue
Or I just mean like in the format because like.
Well,
so
Epic
much
Confrontation's
of-
great.
Yeah.
Like
that's true.
Epic Confrontation is great. Epic Confrontation I think is like quite a bit worse in sealed than it is in draft. Maybe that's insane, but like the biggest bonus of that card is tempo. Like
Yeah.
you gain, like it being 2 mana and going like kill something and then attack
Yeah.
is like a lot more relevant in draft than it is in sealed.
Yeah,
because
the
game
games
is
in
bogged up
sealed are
now.
usually a lot slower.
Yeah, like everyone is playing. Like every black deck is playing every one and 2 mana death touch creature they have.
Yeah.
So like you need to fight through like every hand of Silumgar and Typhoid Rats that your opponent will play, or like Festering Goblin or what have you. That's quite a bit worse. I just want to play, like, I talked about this with you before. I want to play as few X1s as I can.
Yeah.
There are so many punishing things that deal with X1s.
It's
in this
Tarka
format.
Freed.
Yeah, okay.
Woo!
Just in red alone, there's a
Yeah.
Tarka Freed and Twin Bolt.
Yeah.
Continue Festering Goblin, Dragon Fodder. Dragon Fodder is
Red
insane
and
against
black
it.
have a lot of ways to punish.
Yeah, really punish that.
Yeah.
Plus, there are just like a lot of like defensive like 1Xs that people play
Mm-hmm.
between like Territorial Rock and Updraft Elemental. Although I don't think those cards are excellent.
Yeah.
But like Elusive Spellfist,
Right.
like that, like blocks every X1 on the ground.
And then it transitions pretty well.
Yeah. It's great. It's great early. It's fine late. It's a very strong card. The 2-drops are much more important in this format than they were in Cons. I don't think I have like a predilection for colors really in so much. Like
Yeah.
I just want to play a consistent deck.
2-color.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 2-color. Like I think
Maybe a very light splash if your lands
if you have the fixing.
agree.
If you have the
yeah.
fixing, whatever. Like I'm still generally a fan of being greedy, just
Yeah.
because in like. Okay, so I in most PTQs I want to be greedy because
You have to spike it.
you have to X1. You have to
Yeah.
like X1 minimum. In like a GP, it's different. Like you need to X2, and like there are buys. Like people
Yeah.
have buys. You know.
You have to go like 5 and 2 if you have 2 buys.
Yeah, you have to go 5 and 2. So like having a consistent like deck that has answers to rares
Yeah.
and has like a reasonable late game is really where I want to be. Like you just even in this format where 2-drops are important, I don't want to be playing an aggressive deck.
Yeah.
Like that's the last place I
You
want
have
to
to
be.
have a very specific pool to be able to support it.
You just need to have. I
Like
don't think
a,
that. I
a
don't think,
nutso pool.
yeah, you just need the nuts, and like
Yeah.
I don't think that's where you want to be. Obviously, like
Well,
it's just incredibly it's a trap
it's
most
unlikely.
of the time.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, I think that deck is not there.
Yeah.
And people like end up playing stuff like because they think they need to like curve out and stuff like
Have
that.
2-drops.
Yeah, like you do need 2-drops, but like you can't play an aggressive deck without like 6 or 7 2-drops.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh yeah, I'm being an aggressive deck. It's like, no, you have like 2 Kolagon aspirants.
Mm-hmm.
Like calm down. Play cards with late game.
Yeah.
In any case, I don't think those cards are excellent. I don't think any cards are
I think
excellent.
Whitey needs a timeout.
Done. We are the most powerful people here.
Yeah.
Getting a timeout for that.
Yeah. it's
Greg's not
fine.
allowed to punch me,
No.
right?
Yeah.
We had no more matches. You went out there to check.
I asked them. 2 matches were still going on. It
Okay.
seemed like they were basically wrapping up.
Yeah. So we'll be bringing you guys round 4 as soon as we're ready.
Are we in round 4?
Yeah. It's going by pretty fast tonight.
Yeah. I'm not even noticing.
Yeah. Not paying attention as much, maybe.
Probably. I'm just so involved, so
Yeah.
wrapped up in the games as they go on.
Yeah, that's got to be it. You're too focused, is
Yeah.
what it is.
So are you set on the decks that you're going to be playing in Columbus?
No. I know what I'm leaning towards.
More Esper and Standard?
Yeah, the only deck I've played in Standard has been Esper Dragons, and I've really, really liked it.
Yeah.
I've done well in every tournament I played with
You
it.
said you lost a win in it in a PTQ or pre-PTQ?
No, I lost in top 4.
Top 4. Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry. How many people were there? Also, what store was it?
It was a very small pre-TQ.
Oh, okay.
There were only a handful of like very strong players there.
Gotcha.
But I don't know. The deck feels incredibly strong. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of the mirror. I really like playing it. I really like playing the deck. It's been a while since you got to play with actual counterspell.
Yeah.
But actual counterspell is great. It's also like it's much more of a fairy deck than it is like there are many more tempo elements to it because of what Ojutai does.
Yeah.
Like someone described it as the tempo black hole. Like as soon as if you play Ojutai, and if your opponent doesn't like have something out, like some like big thing like a Siege Rhino,
Yeah.
then the game just completely shifts to what is going to happen with that Ojutai.
Mhm.
And your opponent's like put into this really awkward spot. It's like, all right, do I just like play a creature here, or do I
Try to
pass with
kill
mana
it.
up, and then like your opponent just gets to untap it. Like your control opponent, your dictator time opponent gets to untap, play like their 6th land, and just like they can attack. They could thought seize you. They could just say go and like play dictator time or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you're just put in such a horrible spot when the game like gets into spots like that.
Mm-hmm.
It gets into those situations. So I really enjoy that aspect of the deck. Like Thoughtseize is great in that deck, and I played like the Adrian Sullivan like blue black control deck for a bit, and that was like, you know, You had to struggle.
Yeah, it's a lot tougher.
You had to struggle to
You
win
had
games.
Yeah, you have to work for your.
Ojutai
wins.
you just kill them. Like all these
Yeah.
cards that people play that were like so good against the blue-black deck, like Master of the Unseen and
They're just way too
Outpost Siege.
slow.
They don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like I had someone like resolve Outpost Siege against me at this tournament, and you just completely ignore it. You just attack right through it. And the same with Mastery. Like Ojutai is just such a quick clock. But I really enjoyed that deck. In Modern, I think I've talked about this Grixis Moon deck, and I've enjoyed playing that as well. I don't know what else I would play. There are a couple people I'm talking to about testing some other decks, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be very surprised if I wasn't playing a deck that didn't have 4 Snapcaster Mage, 4 Lightning Bolt, and then counter spells.
Yeah.
Those are cards. And then, as I said, I'm a huge fan of Tasigur in Modern.
It's very good.
Man, that card's stupid.
So you think there's no chance of Simon and I converting you to Team Fish?
Yes, I do think there's no chance.
Okay. It's unfortunate.
I think you would have to literally throw my deck in the garbage, like on the bus there, because if I would go through the garbage if it was at the tournament hall, you'd have to like literally whip it out the window of the bus.
I think you would jump.
I would probably leave. I'd probably get off the bus. I'd be like, I'll catch the next one. I just
We also might not have to take the bus. We might be able to get a ride with Mark.
Great. That's exciting.
Do you think we can fit 4
4
people in his? Oh
boy.
God.
So for those unaware, Mark is like what 6'5"?
He might be 6'6".
Yeah, like min 6'5".
Yeah.
I would say, like 6'5".
He has a Fiat. He got a Fiat. He has a clown car.
It is an actual clown car. Like watching him get in and out of the car is just like it's a joke.
Yeah.
And so maybe 4 people might have to be in that car, and that is
For like 5 hours.
5 or 6, like 6 hours maybe.
Well, yeah.
We'll see.
Do you know anyone else going out?
No. From Indiana, yeah, but not from Chicago.
Yeah.
Maybe I probably do know people going. Like,
Right.
I'd imagine like Joe Bernal is going, and like maybe
Yeah.
like
Their
Peter,
cars might be full though.
yeah, like Peter Tragos, Matt Hoey, those kind of guys.
Yeah.
Junk, I like. I don't have fun playing those decks.
Oh. It might be hard to get an edge with those decks too.
Yeah.
You know? Going into
Mirrors are horrible.
going into a tournament like that where like you have to do pretty well with both of your decks, it seems like picking something that's a little higher variance might be the way to go. And just like you only have to play 8 rounds of each format, so like just try to dodge a problem matchup. Like that's the kind of the gambit with Fish for my friend Simon and I. Simon, who is playing Enchantress on camera. It seems like we're both going to play Merfolk at the tournament, and if we can just dodge Affinity and I guess Amulet for 4 rounds, then we think our deck is pretty great. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Emperor, I wouldn't play the green-white Mastery deck, but I think it seems good. It's not really the kind of deck that I would play typically, but that doesn't mean it's not good because there's very narrow range of things I like playing.
There's only one 3-0, but they have to play.
Okay. Is that who we're seeing?
Yeah.
Is the 3-0 Jeskai Delver?
Yes.
And he's playing against Houtman?
Yes, who is 201.
201. Wow, so he has not lost.
No, he just drew that first match, which again we're unsure if he could have actually won, but
Yeah.
it's certainly feasible that he could have. I mean, they just had a crazy long game too, crazy grindy game too, that ended up taking quite a bit of time.
So this is Jeskai Delver against Grixis Control.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that springs to mind here, Dak Vaden could be really good.
Woo!
Dak Vaden, take your Batter Skull.
Could I borrow
Although that doesn't do anything.
Could I borrow that GT for a second?
Yeah, I guess Jit would be more impactful.
Certainly wouldn't be bad.
As we learned earlier in our test game, when you take Batter Skull, your opponent still controls the germ.
Mm-hmm.
So you can... immediately, it doesn't have a huge impact because they can still attack you with the germ with the Batter Skull on it. You can re-equip to a different creature, though, in the future.
Yeah, but you need to do that. Well, I guess no, never mind. I was going to say...
Before the Batter Skull attacking just kills your Dak Vaden.
more or less, yeah. Even then, you don't really care. I mean, as long as you have the Batter Skull.
Yeah.
I messed this up. Kyle is 201. Our timer is still going from last round. Looks like we had a quick finish.
Captain wants help with their Grixis Delver deck.
Ooh. Gurmag Angler, man.
David
It's
L.
the truth.
Byer comments, I beat Fish regularly with junk.
I can see that. I mean, like, if
I
you have the
wonder
right
if
sideboard
it's-
cards.
I wonder if it's mono blue.
Yeah, I also do.
I think Path helps a lot.
I think Path helps a lot.
Also Sig.
Yeah, Sig is quite a bit better than something like Kira.
Also 4 Master of Waves. I mean, obviously, it's winnable for junk. It's a 50-50 deck.
Yeah.
Like, I lost in the Swiss to junk.
Yeah.
He did have to draw Damnation on the perfect turn, granted.
Oh, yeah, you played against Postgate, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I lost to Posgate. I would say that he got pretty lucky to win Game 3. But what can you do?
Shit happens.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, so we got... Is Kevin mulliganing already? Looks like he
It
is.
does seem like it.
Kyle's hand looks all right.
Is Kevin Chicago? Like
Suburbs,
is he-
I believe.
Okay. I haven't really seen him around, but it seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, no, he's experienced legacy player. I know actually. So at that Milwaukee Open, that Eric Rill won, Kevin won the Standard Open.
Oh.
Beat Adrian Sullivan in the finals.
Sweet.
I think that was
Did not realize that.
Mono Black Devotion Standards. Oh, I do not know. I literally have no thoughts on Monastery Siege and Fish because
It's
I
bad.
don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it at all. I don't know why you would ever play the first Monastery Siege over the first Thassa.
And from
I
what I've
don't-
heard, Dasa's very bad in that deck.
Yeah, Simon and I were talking about trying one.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty loose.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need Monastery Siege. You just want more. You just want more like other cantrip effects, like actual cantrip effects that impact the board.
Yeah.
Like Spreading Seas and Silvergill. Like those are the best cards in the deck, really.
Ooh, this is a great mold of 5 for Kevin, which not something I say often. But it's a Bolt, Stoneforge, 2 lands, and Spell Pierce. Looks like he's drawn a 3rd land for turn, which is not ideal.
Not ideal. Yeah.
We have the foil Scalding Tarn mirror here.
Sure. Also, Argus, if you want my list of Merfolk, which is actually Simon's list of Merfolk, you can actually check out MGG Card Market's Facebook page. They actually posted it a couple weeks back when I managed to win that pre-TQ.
Skill game. So Kyle gonna try an end step brainstorm here, and Kevin just gonna Spell Pierce that. I like getting the value off Spell Pierce as soon as possible.
Yep.
Waiting on it, like it's a card that when people tend to wait on it, it quickly loses its power. But Kyle's got a backup brainstorm.
Yep.
He's gonna main phase this one after playing basic Swamp for turn, aptly playing around Wasteland.
Makes sense.
Looks like he's got 3 lands. He's gonna put 2 of them back, keeping Polluted Delta, and then he has a 3rd Brainstorm, Force of Will, Tassiger, and Dig Through Time. So he's got quite a bit of gas here.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how Kevin's going to be able to fight through this. I imagine it's going to revolve around resolving this Stoneforge Mystic. So we're going to see a fetch from a Scalding Tarn, getting a Tundra, and I imagine a Stoneforge Mystic.
Very pretty black border dual lands here.
Oh yeah, these are gorgeous.
Are they foreign black border? Because they have such thin borders, you know?
I honestly don't know. I think they're foreign. They have a lot of text on them.
Yeah.
Beta usually have like bigger text.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's like blocky.
Yeah, and like thicker, like the black border I think is usually thicker.
Yeah.
I think.
I believe these are FBB.
Sure.
But let's see. So this Stoneforge,
Yeah, I'm
Where's
probably gonna eat a lightning bolt. No.
we're gonna see a brainstorming response. I think Kyle's considering Force of Willing this. It looks like he's drawn a 2nd copy of Force of Will, as well as Underground Sea and another Polluted Delta.
Mm.
I think forcing this is reasonable. He could do it around days, which is nice.
Luxac Delver Flips confirms that those are foreign black border.
All right, we do see a Force of Will, and Kevin's unfortunately going to have to let that happen. Doesn't really have as much action going on now. He drew the Jite.
Yeah,
He does have Daze though, and Daze it looks like Kyle specifically playing around that Daze here.
makes sense.
Ooh, he can cast a 1-mana Tassiger here. I think that's what's going to happen.
People are talking about Hall of Triumph and Merfolk. I can't support that. Yeah.
You're already
You're
playing.
playing 8 lords.
You're playing 8 Hall of Triumphs, and they already attack.
Yeah. And they give your guys Island Walk, and you're playing 4 Spreading Seas to make your creatures unblockable.
It's like it is quite good with Master of Waves, but I don't think it's necessary.
Master of Waves is already insane.
Exactly.
There's so few cards in Modern that actually kill it.
Kyle going to tap 2 mana, 3 mana. I wonder if this is going to... I think this is a dig through time, actually. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this is a dig through time.
Oof.
Looks like he's going to lead with dig, try and get his value first, and then focus on Tasigur.
Yep.
Kevin falling very behind here. He needs to find basically another Stoneforge, which I think is his best draw.
Makes sense. Madro's making me so sad. Not a fan of Sig. I hope they know I'm talking about River Guide and not River Cutthroat. Cutthroat's not good.
I disagree. It's the more fun one.
It's fun. It's worse.
Agreed. Kevin draws another Bolt. Not ideal. Bolt's just a super medium card against what
Is that
Kyle's presenting.
Jitte?
It is a Jitte.
Okay.
Jitte and a pass.
Looks like 2 bolts and a daze in Kevin's hand. Very pretty lightning bolts.
They are beautiful. Thought Scour was an excellent draw for Kyle. Now he can Thought Scour and cast Tasigur this turn.
Yeah, Argus knows what's up. Sig is like Fish's mother of runes.
Yeah.
That makes me really happy.
All right.
Except
so
you can use it offensively more easily.
it is the only card in that deck that counters Abrupt Decay.
Yep. Also Master of Waves.
Yeah, which gives it a lot of value. Yeah, but it gives it a lot of value against all these removal heavy decks.
Yeah.
Sig River Cutthroat provides a similar thing, but it necessitates that you have to connect with it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't think Blue Black Sig is better. I think Blue Black Sig is fine.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I don't think they've played with it.
We'll stop talking about Merfolk and focus on what's going on here.
Never.
Here comes Tasigur. And this is pretty great for Kyle. He's able to hold up a counterspell and play around days.
Do you think 2 lightning bolts are headed at this Tasigur?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Do you think it's going to be really bad when the second one gets countered?
Yes, I do. See a fetch from Kevin. We'll see if this is going to pick up another volcanic island here.
Yep.
His hands are kind of tied. I mean, drawing Brainstorm would be ideal here because he could try and hit
So
a
it
Sword
looks like he
Splashers.
announced 2 lightning bolts.
Yep.
And Kyle already counterspelling the second one.
Yes.
Kevin with days in hand, but Kyle has 1 available mana.
And this is pretty excellent. He can try and get back this Brainstorm or this counterspell.
Yeah. Kevin did resolve a Delver there, and it's going to be able to pick up the Jitte, which is definitely a start at helping him get back in the game.
Kyle's got a Pyroblast, though.
I
I think he's going to lead with a Cabal Therapy. We'll see what he names here.
have no idea what you would name.
I mean, Kevin's one card is Days, and I'm pretty sure
Does
you're
he know?
extremely unlikely to name Days.
Yeah.
He's been playing around it all game, but
Right.
you would... He does. Ooh, this sniping. This
Kevin's
is
impressed.
this is a little unfortunate for Kyle just putting them in the graveyard. It just means that activating this Tasigur gets worse. But
Those are, in fact, the promo lightning bolts, and they are extremely baller PG8.
all right, so Kevin flipping his Delver to
I definitely like
To Brainstorm.
Kyle making Kevin use the mana there. And Kevin pretty dejected. I think he knows that this game is pretty out of hand.
definitely stinks being the only 3-0 player for this to happen.
It does.
So we see an attack for 4 and a Brainstorm.
Remember, this is only game 1.
Sure.
If he finds a path, which he just did,
Swords.
sorry,
Different format.
got modern on my brain.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that is a foil Japanese from the pack Brainstorm,
Ooh. Who do you think he is? Ian Farnung?
and that is a promo Swords to Plowshares.
Well, here's a Snapcaster Mage
Snapcaster.
on Counterspell.
Why not? That seems ideal.
And here's a Delver. This is not totally over here. I mean,
Not totally.
Kyle still. I mean, this Delver is going to flip next turn. We know from Kevin's Brainstorm,
Yep.
and then there is going to be GT counters involved. A little curious not to attack there. I think from Kyle on that Snapcaster Mage. I think I would have definitely got in there. All right, so Kevin flipping Days.
Yeah, definitely attacking there seems right.
Kyle gonna activate this Tasigur, assuredly getting back a Cabal Therapy.
Yeah.
Can't imagine. Yep, and Kevin just giving him that.
Yep.
This was happening still in Kevin's upkeep, but the Delver is flipped and gets to attack for 3 and get counters. So this is gonna be a problem.
What card was revealed?
Days.
The issue here is he's pretty low on life. He has to kill the snap.
He could kill. Yeah, he could either kill the snap or gain 2 life. Killing snap is probably.
It saves more life in the long run.
Yeah. Let's see what's going to
Is
happen.
this
here.
Jace?
I think this might be an activation of Tasigur.
Okay.
We'll see what Kyle decides to do here.
Currently, all 4 cards in the bin are pretty solid to hit.
Ugh.
They still are solid.
Yeah.
Not really a great choice for Kevin.
Ponder's probably the worst card, which is like
It is.
basically a nightmare.
Yeah.
Although
Ponder's great.
you could give him. No, you can't really give him Bolt. Bolt just kills you.
You definitely can't give him Dig Through Time.
No. Dig Through Time is a disaster.
Yeah, definitely can't give Bolt. You can give Brainstorm, but Kyle has 2 uncracked fetches. It's probably just Ponder. He can't give him Pyroblast because then he just kills the Delver.
Yeah, Pyroblast and Bolt are out of the question completely, and I think Dig Through Time is similarly out of the question.
Yeah,
It's
I
basically
guess,
just between Brainstorm and Ponder. I think Ponder is worse than Brainstorm because you know that Kyle has Therapy in his hand,
Yeah.
and you want him to keep having that Therapy.
Bolt is lethal.
Yes. He does give him Bolt. Is it lethal? Well, not really.
So
He can kill the.
he kills Snap and gains 2 life.
Well, no, he just kills Snap. I think. I
Yeah.
don't think he can gain 2 life. I think he has to just hold the counter
Oh, you're right.
because otherwise he just loses his Delver. This is actually this is a prudent play. It means that Kevin has to basically be careful.
Yeah.
So we see a Therapy on the days.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see a swing for 6. Snapcaster's out.
Yeah, the Lightning Bolt not going to be able to kill the Delver.
So he's going to
Yeah, because it has 2 toughness.
So he's going to go to 2 and then go to 1.
So if he attacks, that's fine. He can gain 4 life up to 5.
There's no elves and there is no Raffle the Night, unfortunately.
Yeah, Mark, our stream creator and manager, is for work. He's been having to fly out to San Francisco the past few weeks, so we've been kind of trying to keep the ship on the right course.
As best we
in
can.
the meantime, yeah, lowly savages that we are.
I don't really like that Kyle cast that Therapy because it means that now this next Tasker activation is certainly getting back Cabal Therapy.
Yeah, it's a lot worse.
He's just going to get back every time.
Yeah, I think he might figure out now. Also, if he draws Brainstorm, it's a good thing to put back at this point.
That's true.
He has Force of a blue card, and he has Brainstorm.
Well, that seems pretty excellent. I think you have to Brainstorm here. I mean, like...
If you just find a Lightning Bolt or Pyroblast.
Yeah, he needs anything that interacts with this Delver.
Yeah.
Interacts with Delver or kills him, obviously. Because every attack of this Tasigur is just going to get fogged by the 2 counters on the GT. So this another creature would also
Something
be good.
has to happen, yeah.
So it's an attack for 0, effectively. I think you just main
But
phase...
Kyle's on a 3-turn clock right now.
So I think you need to main phase this Brainstorm and try and find a creature.
Sure. So tapping Underground Sea, presumably. He's passing, so he's probably going to Brainstorm end of turn.
And looks
Looks
like
like
Kevin has another Stoneforge.
He
Mystic.
can't fetch.
He cannot.
He drew a fetch. He has Stoneforge in hand.
So this is actually very good because this is another fog.
Yeah, I mean, if he just puts Batterskull into play,
Well, putting Batterskull into play, I mean, I think...
it's more than Fog.
Well, like, this means that Kyle, even if Kyle draws a Bolt...
Oh,
He's
he can
in
just
good-
block.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Blocking, I think, is great.
And you get Batterskull, because if you also draw a 5th land.
I don't think he has another option, too.
Yeah.
Um,
Just...
Well,
two
he needs
equipments
to
in
draw
your
a
deck.
4th and a 5th land.
Oh, you're right. Can't fetch. Sorry.
Let's see. So, let's see if he is going to decide to play this Stoneforge Mystic. This is a... I think you do.
TSQ, that is flipped Delver with
Yes.
a Jitte on it. Sorry for the glare, everyone.
Yeah.
It's very hard with the fluorescent lights out there to get the complete table to not have any glare.
Yeah, it's really difficult.
It's also...
Also foils.
Yeah, also, Kevin flips his Delver by turning the card upside down instead
Yes.
of actually taking the card out of the sleeve.
All right, so Kyle's going to Force of Will. Oh, it was Gitaxian Probe. It was not Brainstorm. He Force of Will Stoneforge Mystic. And he draws a blue card for turn. Is it Brainstorm?
Yep.
Thought Scour. Therapy. So this Tasker is just irrelevant at this point.
It's just a 4/5. Captain makes a good point. If he played properly with lands and back and creatures on the front line, we'd see the Delver. The problem is that we wouldn't because Kevin's just flipping the card not outside of the sleeve.
Down to 2. And there's a Wasteland and a pass. Nothing really to Wasteland here that actually matters.
Did he elect not to search off of the Stoneforge?
And the Bolt, does I get there? It does. Ooh. Kevin played that game very well.
Yeah. He tried. Yeah. Did you just look at the top card of Kyle's deck?
I think so.
What?
But that was a really close game. That was the exact turn. I mean, Kyle needed to peel something like that in order to win.
Yeah.
And he managed to get there. And that was a mold of 5 from Kevin.
Right.
That was
it was close. Yeah.
Yeah.
Showing the power of Umezawa's Jitte.
Oh, go figure. Jit is amazing.
If anyone wasn't sure, that card's good.
Ooh. Kyle getting deboarded in both Hydroblast and Pyroblast.
Seems good.
He's got Blood Moon in the sideboard. I think he's boarding it in, which I think is interesting. I actually don't love Blood Moon because the Delver deck still gets to play a lot of their best cards.
Like what?
Pyroblast.
Yeah. You gotta board it in.
I don't know if you gotta.
I think...
I don't think it's okay.
What is Hydroblast hitting? Opposing Pyroblasts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Lightning Bolt doesn't really matter.
I don't know if I'm going to leave in that many bolts.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Hydroblast just doesn't seem that great.
And Kevin boarding in, let's see, Rest in Peace, another copy of Swords to Plowshares, Pyroblast, and he's thinking about Grim Lavamancer. I think he's aware of this deck, of reliance on Young Pyromancer, so he's thinking about this.
Emperor asks, if I bought some swag from Card Market, could I get you guys to sign it before they shipped it out? You know, I think we could probably make that happen.
Probably.
I imagine you'd want Mark to sign shit, so I'm pretty sure Mark would love doing that.
Yeah, we're crazy lame.
Yeah.
So we're not worth anything.
Yeah, I agree. Probably the best way to set that up would maybe be like putting it in the comments with your order.
Yeah.
Or also like messaging Mark on Facebook or like via Twitch.
Or even just messaging Jameson.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. So Jameson Reeves is like, he's basically the main man at Card Market.
Yeah.
He's really on top of his shit.
Absolutely. So Kyle looking to board out Therapy. I don't think I'll board out any copies of Therapy against a Stoneforge Mystic deck. I think.
Yeah.
I don't like Force of Will. I think Force of Will is pretty poor.
I could see taking out a couple copies.
I think when you're the control deck, it's very hard to leave in Force of Will.
Sure.
I think you want to be the Pyroblast deck, not the Force of Will deck.
The problem is just like
against Fair Blue. Like what's a must counter? What can't you just kill?
Yeah.
Like Pyroblast just does the same thing but with one card.
Right.
Almost every time.
He also can bring in stuff like Rakdos Charm to just answer equipment.
I did see Rakdos Charm in there.
Yeah.
I hope Mark doesn't do that. But he might.
It seems like what Mark would like to do.
Yes, I agree with that statement.
Yeah.
We'll see these post-board games, though. I mean, the Blue-White-Red Delver deck in general, the Jessica Delver deck, has a great sideboard. Like,
it's pretty good.
It's like...
it's mostly white cards.
Yeah. Yeah, it's white cards and...
It's like Meddling Mage, Rest in Peace.
And then the red cards are just almost always blasts.
Yeah.
I mean, Pyroblast still, I think, the best sideboard card in Legacy.
Probably. Most flexible. Rest in Peace is probably the best white one. Meddling Mage is up there.
Meddling Mage is great.
Also, Containment Priest is usually a one-of in their sideboard, which is pretty powerful. Not for this matchup, obviously, but...
Yeah. Over-under on the value of Kevin's deck, a car. I'll set the line at a
nice car.
At a nice car.
A pretty nice one.
I mean, I'm pretty sure all of those...
Nicer than Mark's Fiat.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure all those deltas are Onslaught Japanese foil.
Sure, why not?
So, those aren't cheap. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's not a cheap deck, is what I'm.
I think,
what
Captain. I think you're underestimating what Mark would do without your consent.
Oh God.
Specifically, my consent.
With a pen.
So I don't know if I've ever told you this. I met Mark at F&M like 3 years ago, at a store on this block. Does not exist anymore.
Galactic Force.
Galactic Force.
Yeah, I remember that place.
Not a good store.
Nope.
We were playing standard F&M. I beat Mark in the last round. I was new to Chicago, and he offered to give me a ride home in his car with Kyle, someone I didn't know.
Did they go to college together?
They did go to college together. They gave me a ride. I got in a car with a stranger that I'd known for an hour. That worked out well, though, because I'm friends with them now. We wound up going to their apartment and getting hammered. It was very random.
Great.
Then we wound up driving to Des Moines, 3 weeks later for the SCG, back when they had SCG opens at places like Des Moines, Iowa.
You guys are so weird.
We all did terribly. The first night there, I had the rollaway bed because it was one of those hotel rooms, and in the middle of the night they strapped me down to the rollaway bed, so I woke up in the morning and I couldn't get up.
Oh my goodness.
It was an interesting way to become friends with people.
That certainly sounds like it. All right, so we're going to see Kevin not flipping his Delver. He drew Stoneforge Mystic for turn. He's just going to play it and fetch out a Battle Scroll here. Kyle just probed and thought scoured himself on turn 1. Kevin's hand is a couple of copies of Swords to Plowshares, of Flusterstorm. I believe that's it at this point, and the Battle Scroll.
Yep.
We'll see how Kyle's able to do this. Kyle has an answer to the Battle Scroll, kind of.
Yep.
In Null Rod. Oh, there's a bolt as well.
Sounds good.
He's got... So this is what I don't like. He's got Blood Moon in his hand. He's got 2 Blood Moons in his hand.
Oh, dear.
And he has Underground Sea Volk.
Yeah.
It's not great.
It's not great. He has Brainstorm. He can shuffle it away, right? It looks like he's looking at a Massacre.
Ooh, that seems like the best possible card.
It seems really good right now.
And Massacre You.
Oh, dear God.
It's just a Pyroclasm. It's not, crazy.
Yeah, just a 0 mana 2-for-1.
And he's going to jam Null Rod here while Kevin is still tapped out. It's actually not... it's fine.
He drew Jitte.
Obviously drawing Jitte, which is what I would expect, of course. So Kyle's got... Ooh, he can play Young Pyromancer here and Probe and immediately get some value, which is excellent.
Yep.
Because it's this thing is certainly going to die.
Kevin going to kill the Pyromancer. So he gets 1 token.
That Pyromancer should be exiled.
Yeah. I'll go remind them. They'll probably realize when I'm halfway out.
I accept. Looks like Kevin just has a hand of Swords to Plowshares, Lightning Bolt, Jitte, Batter Skull, and something else that I cannot see. He's drawn Ponder for turn, which is pretty great. Sees Pluto Delta, Daze, and Force of Will. Oh, Flusterstorm is his last card. I don't think... I don't think Kevin can keep this Ponder without a threat. The way he's going to win here, he wants to find something like Trina Nemesis right now. He has, Trina Nemesis or lands are basically, what he's looking for at this point.
Yep.
Finding more counter spells doesn't seem like it's going to get him closer to anything. His Pluto Delta is pretty tempting. I think that's... Yeah, he's just going to shuffle it away. All right. Keeping just Pluto Delta has at least some value. You get to unlock your red mana. You get to get another another land in play. But you really want to find something like a Delver here.
So it does seem like Kyle forgot his trigger, right? On Young Pyromancer? Last turn?
Yeah.
Because he probed immediately, right, after he cast it?
He did forget his trigger.
Yeah. Not ideal.
Nope, I would agree with that. Let me see a Brainstorm. Kevin just going to have to let that resolve. He has Flusterstorm, but no blue mana available right now.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what Kyle can do here. Yeah, that missed trigger might end up costing him a little bit. It's definitely going to cost him incidental damage, but he's the control deck here. He's not really focused on beating
The
down.
tempo's nice, though.
Yeah.
Any blue mirror just, being the aggressor, even how it's ever, minor it might be, it's just pretty valuable.
Kevin gonna ponder again. He finds a land. He's able to keep this, and I think he's just gonna pass here. I don't think there's much of a reason. You don't want to fetch another white land, so you're probably not going to Swords this, and I don't think you really want to spend a Bolt at this point.
No, you'd rather kill Baleful Strix with Jitte.
So on Kyle's upkeep, he's gonna Thought Scour himself.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did you know there was a Dig Through Time there?
That Null Rod's really problematic.
Yeah. Yeah, his Baleful Strix can't use its activated abilities.
Right.
We'll see if we see an attack here. If we do, the bird gets in.
Yep.
1 point. Ouch. Gets scratched. I don't think this bird is going to go the distance.
Probably not.
I believe so. Kevin's got a Pyroblast. I believe he has a Vendilion Click as well.
Why aren't we all playing Miracles?
Great question. Ooh. True Name is an excellent draw, but Kevin needs another land to get there. I think he knew that True Name was there from the Ponder.
Yeah. I think that was why he was eager to not shuffle, or part of the reason why.
Yeah.
It's
Kyle,
a pretty good card in this matchup.
so Kyle has the option of this turn of going. He's just gonna jam Blood Moon.
He's tapping. Interestingly, I thought he would have left himself with blue mana.
Yeah, now he can't counterspell.
Although
He can counterspell whatever if Kevin tries to counter back.
Exactly. He can fight on the stack, or if it just gets countered or destroyed. Like, what is he leaving himself with? Does he have Pyroblast in hand?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's leaving himself with that at least. Very odd. Alright, so it has resolved. And so Kevin's going to be kind of under the gun here.
That's one way to put it. He does have access to Pyroblast and Bolt. Oh, there's nothing. There's something you can't cast, and there's a Jit, which doesn't do anything.
Yeah, no Rod's saying no to that.
Drawing the islands really helped out Kyle here. Oh, let's see if he decides to play this Jace.
Probably.
He will get Pyroblasted something fierce if he does.
Yeah.
And that's immediately going to get Pyroblasted.
Right.
I
Red
know.
Blast.
Excuse me.
Beta Red Blast.
Kyle will not be able to fight over this because his only way of fighting is Pyroblast.
Yep.
Hey, there's a mountain.
Blood Moon's been pretty good on camera today,
Man.
although it also locked one player out of the game.
Kyle doing this, by the way, did lock himself out of the Tasigur in his hand.
That's a good point.
There are no basics in the blue white red Delver deck TSQ. It's all Tundras and Volks.
Yep.
And Baleful Strix get bolted. Kyle's gonna counterspell it.
Yeah.
Might as well just get the value.
Trigger. Yeah, I mean, at this point, you just want to close out the game before Batterskull shows up.
Yeah. I mean, you know he's got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, rest
Rest
in
in
peace.
peace.
Kevin really just wants to draw a land or a red card.
Yep.
Nothing else matters.
Does Kyle have any way to deal with Batterskull if it shows up? Oh, he has Snapcaster. Nope, can't Snapcaster Counterspell.
Bolt you. Trigger.
Alright, so he's speeding up the clock.
It's got a lot of damage, but
He has,
Another bolt.
looking at 5 damage currently. That is not the land he was looking for. Oh,
Ooh.
it was. Okay.
it's a land, so it's definitely the land he was looking for. Now the onus is on Kyle.
Yeah. So he has Snapcaster.
I'm pretty sure the way he's gonna beat this is by blocking it with all of his elementals.
Sure.
Or blocking it with one and bolting it.
Yeah. Because it takes a while. I mean, Kevin can bounce
No, he
and
can't.
Oh, you're right.
Incorrect.
So Kevin's
he
probably
could-
not even going to attack, right?
Kyle, actually, he could just block with the Strix as well. He can't
That's
really
true.
attack.
Yeah, so he's swinging in with the elementals, representing a lightning bolt. And yeah, he can't really attack either. So he's kind of squeezed either way. It doesn't seem like there's a good attack or block at this point for Kevin.
No.
I think Kyle's recognized that having the lightning bolt is huge.
Yeah. Everything that Kyle has is really good right now. Well, the bolt is really it's just the Strix and the bolt are both excellent.
Yeah.
He's just going to continue to beat down with these 2/1/1s until if he gets to do it again next turn, then it's going to be lethal with the bolt.
Mm-hmm.
There's another land for Kevin. That's not going to do anything. This Blood Moon is doing a lot more than I thought it would. Honestly.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Thanks, man.
How'd
Seen
you do?
attack.
I lost to Zini.
What a jerk.
On game 2, I kept the one lander off the back of like the fact that it had double Aether Vial,
Yep.
and then like a nice curving like Thalia and like a couple moms. I was like, oh, this hand's sweet.
You just never draw
Turn
land.
two Pithing Needle,
Oh, what a dick.
and then I never drew a second land. Then he played a True Nemesis. He played a GT, then a True Nemesis.
Yeah.
Well,
Deathblade's tough.
Yeah. It was alright. Like that hand was very, very good if you didn't have Needle.
Right.
Basically.
Which is probably a
I
one-off.
forgot to mention, he also, it's irrelevant, but he also had Engineered Explosives on one that killed 2 moms and 2 Aether Vials.
For those unaware, Kevin could not pick up the Batterskull because of the Null Rod.
Yep.
Activated abilities of artifacts cannot be played. So Kevin was really just locked out. That Null Rod did a ton of work.
No Rod is a messed up card.
I love Null Rod. I played in Elves. It's great.
Yeah.
It's delightful.
It's really good against my deck.
Lavamancer would have been excellent there for Kevin. He really needed to resolve True Name first, is what it came down to. Drawing Flusterstorm instead of Spell Pierce is also a beating. I mean, I guess Spell Pierce wouldn't have done anything because of the Kyle just had 2 mana up at the time.
Yep.
We do giveaways when we are basically given them.
Yeah.
We actually almost always do giveaways.
We usually do. Jameson's not in the store tonight, though.
Yes.
Usually that responsibility is delegated to, like the store owners, not the underlings, I guess.
The employees.
Yeah,
That's
the
the word you're
employees.
looking for.
I was trying to be more offensive.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stop you.
I think I was succeeding.
Yes. But yeah, that was sweet. That was a beating. That Blood Moon just did so much work.
It did a lot.
Fenza in your deck is terrible.
All right, I'll take it out.
All right.
What
The
should it
verdict is
be?
in, guys.
What should it be?
Basic planes.
Anything. The bolster mechanic was on the fucking stack, and I'm just like, kill.
Yeah.
I won the other matches. You just watched the match where I punted 4 times.
Guys, so for those keeping track at home, Simon punted him 4 times apparently in his match. I wasn't keeping track because all of his cards are unplayable.
Yeah. We don't really know what your cards do.
Yeah, no, I messed up with Miri's Guile. I fetched for the wrong land after that. In game 2, I played poorly into Spell Pierce, which was like very easy, obviously represented.
Yep.
That's 3. What was the 4th? Oh, the 4th was just like a sequencing thing that didn't really end up mattering. I don't think I would have won. I just punted a lot.
Yeah, we understand.
That sounds good. How
But
did
I
you
need
overall?
something. I won 3-1.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
But yeah,
Would-
for those worrying, Enchantress, I'm sure everyone is worried that Enchantress didn't go 3-1, but
Yeah.
rest assured it did.
So you're
Don't
probably
rest in
gonna
peace.
get.
I don't play that card.
You're probably gonna get
That's
third.
crazy.
I would think.
What's Kevin?
Kevin just lost on camera.
So Hammond's first? Yeah, so I'll
Yeah.
get like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, Kevin's probably gonna get second
I
based
just
on
need enough money
tiebreakers.
to buy I don't know, nothing.
What else?
Do you have a Tarka Red?
I have the entire deck now.
Okay.
Nice.
Bruce, do you know Bruce?
Yeah,
Bruce gave me
I don't know Bruce
no,
actually.
he gave me 2 Zergos, so I have a
Perfect.
Tarka
Nice guy.
All right. I think that's gonna wrap up our stream for now.
Yeah, I
right?
think we're good.
Thank you guys for tuning in as always. We wouldn't be able to do this without you.
Did I win this?
It's not even fun without you doing it. No, put the stuff back, Tone.
I won giveaways?
Tone, no.
Tony's trying to take all our stuff. The
No.
foot.
But we always have a great time commenting.
Yeah.
Fun interacting with you guys.
I think I'm gonna be commenting Modern next Wednesday.
Really?
Yeah, with recent celebrity Gabby Sparts
Woo!
actually.
Should I play?
Yeah, you should play.
All right. I'll probably play Vidalcan Shackles.
Yeah, you should practice. We'll put you on camera round 1.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for tuning in. So thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to MTG Card Market for being our gracious hosts.
Yeah.
As always. Stream schedule again: Wednesdays Modern at 7:30 here at MTG Card Market, and Thursdays Legacy here at MTG Card Market 7:30.
Same time. Yep.
We can't really do anything else right now given Mark's schedule. We can't really move the stuff anywhere, so we're just gonna be limiting the stream to Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, no Mondays, just for the next few weeks. Hopefully we can start going back to Mondays at some point soon.
Yeah. But once again, I wanted to thank you guys for tuning in, and we hope to see you on Wednesday tuning in for Modern.
Shout out to the foot.
Also, shout out to the Foot. Thanks,
Bye.
guys.
See
Bye.
ya.